Someone do the intro. I'm not doing a cool countdown this time, just for it to be cut.
Was Ryan doing it?
It was a cool countdown, to be fair. So, listen, gamers, welcome to episode 14. We did miss last week due to illnesses.
And the week before.
We can get away with one.
Nah, it's 2 weeks. Get it right.
But yeah,
Ryan
so
had a pregnancy scare.
No, really? Do we have to go down that way? Let's start off by starting with Kev going back to his dungeon and touching grass again.
Do we need to redo the intro? Or you keep?
No, I'm keeping it. I'm done. I've already said episode 14. I'm committed to this. So yeah, Kev was out touching grass again. You know, as he does. I believe Ash was up for it for once.
No, last week I had COVID.
Yeah, last week you were really ill. I was still struggling with illness. And
Wait a minute, actually, you guys were ill. It was just me on my own.
Last week, yeah. The week before, it was me and Ryan that were ready for it. And I think you and Aaron couldn't make it.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I was doing last Thursday or the Thursday before.
The Thursday before was the day before I was going to, like, away with my girlfriend. Because I had an intro ready for it, and then Aaron couldn't make it.
I know what it was. The day before, I had a tournament.
Yeah, Aaron had his personal stuff.
Yeah, I had a gaming tournament.
Yeah.
I think it was that. I think it was the gaming tournament I had.
But yeah, last week the only one ready was you, I think, because Aaron was still doing his subathon, and me and Ryan went well.
Yeah. And then there would have been me just counting down to myself. Just be like,
oh, we should have got that.
Yo, listen, gamers. Welcome to Listen Gamer Podcast with me, King Crazy.
I thought you were going to start doing fucking blue damage.
I was waiting for him to drop some bars then.
You know what? I'll write a rap for next time or something, shall I?
But,
gotta do it now.
Talking of Mr. Apocalynx, and obviously he's not here today. He finished his subathon today after.
He will not be missed.
After 10 days of 12-hour streams. Kev, do you know what happened today, Billing?
Kev does know, he was there when it happened.
Oh yes, I know. This is juicy. It's actually pretty funny. I was pissing myself laughing.
Should I get the maths behind it back up?
If you want to, yeah.
Well, Ash pulls the maths up behind it, a little breakdown. Essentially, so Apocalynx was doing a subathon. For every sub, we're supposed to add 5 minutes to the timer. Somewhere along the line, calculation was misplaced.
Got it.
Right, so essentially he had a subathon, yeah, and every sub was supposed to add 5 minutes. Every tier 2 sub was 10. Every tier 3 sub was 15. And he got around 660 subs in his total subathon.
It was 661 to be precise.
It was 661. Okay, cool. I didn't want to say 661 just in case he was wrong, so I just rounded it down to 660.
It was one off. It's irrelevant, but yeah, to be precise.
I didn't want to be precise and then be wrong. That's my thing.
Who didn't give the extra 5 subs to complete that? I'm sorry.
Well,
I don't have any money. I've just gone away on holiday last week.
I was in work.
That's your issue, dude. I'm poor now. I've spent too much money.
I'm also poor, but come on, that close to 666.
To be fair, everyone wanted him to end. Nobody wanted to drop any subs. They just wanted him to be able to finish.
Yeah, I was just
because he was devastated.
He was mentally gone. And then when, like, I mean, by mentally gone, I mean the fact that he'd been streaming for the last 10 days. And he's totally exhausted because 1, he's not used to doing 12-hour streams, and 2, he did it every single day. Like me being me, I've streamed for 8+ hours a day, 7 days a week. There was a time where I streamed every single day, twice a day, nothing but Dead by Daylight for a solid month. Well, it was just over a month actually, because essentially what I wanted to do, I'm a completionist. And I wanted to get that achievement on Twitch for streaming for so many days in a row. So I did it, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, brother! Let's stream for a solid month." And I did that, and I had such a burnout of Dead by Daylight. But I didn't take a break. I didn't take a break until like a couple of months ago. Actually, that was my first ever break. But getting back to Aaron, he streamed for 10 days, 12 hours a day, and it's mentally exhausting on you, especially when you're not used to doing it. So I take my hats off to him because he was starting at 12, ending at 12.
Yeah, he was doing really well.
He was doing fantastic, and it came to like I think 4 hours and 50 was left on the timer today, and then somebody gifted 3 subs.
No, it was 3 hours. It was just short of 4 hours. Somebody gifted 6 first.
Right, yeah. Somebody gifted 6 first, yeah.
Yeah, and then that's where it got noticed, and then someone did 3 after that.
And
that's
then,
when it got noticed.
Yeah, and then to double check it, somebody gifted another sub.
Yeah.
And essentially, what we noticed was that the timer was going up in 10-minute increments.
Yeah, when 6 dropped, a whole hour got added, and Hamnat clicked on.
Yeah, and because there were so many gifted subs, there was over 660, 661, as we've mentioned.
Well, it was 661 at the time of noticing. There might have been a few more on top of that afterwards, but it didn't mean anything for the maths that went behind it.
Yeah, so we came to the conclusion, Aaron came to the conclusion that you wanted to have like a mini mental breakdown because it was as funny as it was, like he was just distraught. Like he
was absolutely devastated.
Streaming like 6 hours a day and then going to 12 for 10 days, mentally exhausting yourself, depriving yourself of any sort of life, essentially, because he was starting just before 12 to go live at 12. Then he'd finish at just after 12 to make sure that he hit that 12-hour mark. And then he pretty much, he sounds like me. Like when he finished his stream, he's still sort of like hyped, even though he's tired. So it takes him a while to wind down. So then he's got to wind down, get to sleep, wake back up, shower, shave, whatever he does, gets ready for stream, and he's back streaming again.
Spent 2 hours on his hair as well. Don't forget that.
Yeah,
exactly. He's like he does his hair it's people don't understand how mentally fucking taxing streaming is, and when you're in that grind or mindset of you have to do this because it's a subathon and people are like paying to keep it going and supporting you and everything, like that's a fucking lot to take on your body.
Even as well, he was doing Dead by Daylight solidly as well, and that got hard for him even just to do. He went to Warframe yesterday, I think. He was doing Fall Guys on some of them just to have a break from that.
Yeah, he had that Truth game or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like he
Test,
played
I think it's called.
Test, yeah, sorry, not Truth. Yeah, my mistake. I apologize. But like it's mentally taxing, regardless what game you're playing, even if it's like a fresh game every couple of hours or so. Like, and then to have that sudden realization that you've streamed. At the time, it was because it's like double the amount of time in his head. He's like, instead of like streaming for 5 days, I've streamed for 10. I've streamed for double the amount of time. So when that kicked into him, like the maths didn't sort of hit him. It was the sudden realization that every sub has been doubled, essentially, and that's what hit him. And it's sort of like because of how mentally drained he is, he just sort of like broke down, and it was
hard to watch.
It was hard to watch. The concept of it was funny.
It was funny,
but seeing him have that realization that essentially the last 3 days as sort of just not essentially been wasted, but
it could have been rest.
Yeah, it could have been rest for him. Like, because mental rest is just as important as physical rest, because if you don't take care of your mental health, then obviously your body reacts in a certain way, produces chemicals, and then you get ill from that. It lowers your immune system and then you get ill. So it's not a good place for him to be right now. And this is why everyone was saying, look, you need to take a rest. Don't worry about the rest of the hours. Like they shouldn't have been there anyway. So just like end it now. So Ash, I believe you did the maths after a while, and you figured out how much time he actually, because the way that it happened, like when people gifted a load of subs, it broke the marathon timer. So every time that the marathon, well, I think it did it from the first time. So the first time that there was a load of subs gifted, it broke the timer, and then when Aaron reset the timer, it also reset the subs back to 10 per sub.
We think.
That's what we think, yeah. So it wasn't until like a little bit further on into the stream, so it may have not have been all of the subs. The chances are it probably wasn't. But he didn't realize that at the time. That's why he thought he streamed for like double.
Well, should we go through the maths of it?
Yeah.
So his very first stream was going to be 12 till 8. That was assuming no subs got dropped. And that would have been the sort of setup. So that is included in the number. So just in the 9 days he did, so that's not today, he should have streamed 108 hours. That is just the 12-hour timer. That isn't the setup that he does before, because I think he has about 10 minutes just before with his music and his startup screen. And obviously when he ends, he says bye to everyone, and that's not included either. So that's 108 hours he has streamed. He's the 8-hour stream that he did day 1, which obviously went up to the 12. With the 661 subs that he had, is 55.08 hours. And the total amount of time he spent streaming just in the 9 days is 108. So he's technically streamed an extra 53. But, again, that doesn't include his startup and his ending. And that doesn't take into account the fact that every time that his sub counter broke, it got manually reset. It wasn't done by a bot or anything. We actually totted it up as the 5 minutes that it should have had. So a lot of the numbers are going to be all over the place. But that's kind of the gist of it. He spent an extra 53 hours streaming than what he should have done.
He also, last night, we were having, like, just a sort of just chatting stream towards the end of the stream. He paused the timer at midnight, but stayed for an extra around about half an hour, I want to say, just talking.
So it is very, very rough maths.
So, like, the amount of effort that he's put in, and not only that being one of the worst parts about it is, I think he might have coped with the amount that he was streaming better, being able to see the end.
Yeah.
But with the timer going up so quick, so often, it was sort of like, this is never going to end. This is just going to keep going.
But the thing, no one would. It was only because I think 6 got dropped exactly right at the end of when it was going to be that someone clocked. Hang on a minute, that time has just jumped up 60 minutes, not half an hour.
Yeah.
And that's when it kind of hit, because before that, people were dropping 1, maybe it's 5, maybe he's even doing like 100 or whatever it was. So there was no
massive increase.
Like,
there wasn't a big increase.
So
yeah, there was nothing noticeable about it going up, and obviously the hype behind it as well. But as the stream started to go on, he obviously started to get more drained, and he wasn't noticing him as much. He was just getting knocked off with the bot constantly breaking, and yeah, it wasn't until someone dropped 6, and it should have been half an hour, and we noticed it went up by 1, that we sort of clocked.
It's also the fact of, like, when the timer's been on like 10 to 15 hours the whole time, you don't really look at the timer when the timer's decided on.
Someone would have had to have been looking at the timer, see the subs done, then go, oh, that's an extra X amount, and then notice that it didn't go up that amount. That's assuming that the timer didn't break as well when that happened.
Yeah.
So there was a lot that had to go right for anyone to even notice that it was wrong. So yeah,
it was like we said, it was funny to happen, but seeing it happen to Aaron, like, it doesn't matter who it was, like, that kind of devastation after a mental drain.
Yeah, seeing the realization hit his face.
Yeah, he went silent for a few minutes, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Nothing was said.
The moment of it is bad, but give it a few months and you'll probably look back on it and go, do you know what, that was actually really quite funny how that ended up being that way.
But like you said, he didn't regret it. He has a lot of like happy memories and whatnot from it. I think it's just the fact that he could have rested sooner.
Like, I know, like, obviously you guys tend to go to bed a bit earlier than I do, 9 times out of 10, but I've been in most of, well, at least the last few streams, more or less to the end, whether I've been playing with him or just chatting and there's chatting all the rest of it.
To be fair, I've done the same thing. I've just, if I'm not there lurking, I'm there playing with him. To be fair.
I know. So you're like usually like lurking in the background, like, and stuff like that. Like, I know Ash is usually in bed because of work in the morning and stuff. Well,
to be fair, I've been up for quite a few of the end ones, even with work.
Being ill as well, but like, especially last night, we talked a lot about just sort of the journey that he'd been on, because it was sort of a case of, we'd got to the point in the timer last night where the next day was going to be less than a 12-hour stream if no one subbed. So it was like that sort of light at the end of the tunnel for him, and he was speaking about like the journey that it's taken him on and the moments that he's had during it and how it's affected him. Yes, mentally taxing, but also it's been an incredible experience for him, and it was just a really wholesome, nice chat. So I just wanted to say like a massive, massive congratulations and shout out to him for not only getting through something he didn't necessarily have to need to do, but to see the positive outcome of it as well.
Yeah, very, very well done. Absolutely fantastic. I don't think
Like,
many of
he
us
did
could have done
amazing.
that.
He really did do amazing. Fair play
He
to
did,
him.
yeah. He should be very proud of himself. And he should be fucking resting as well. If I see him on a game tomorrow, I'll fucking go at him.
He's just going to appear offline.
I was going to
I'll
say, just
literally be at his throat.
when we started the podcast, I did see that he was listening to Spotify, and I was about to message him, "Go to sleep."
Yeah, I saw that as well, but he might have had
Yeah.
music on just to sort of
Yeah.
wind down, so I just kind of left it.
Yeah, well, I guess we all do that, don't we?
Yeah.
But no, one of the
That is why
things-
he's not here today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd be
He
back.
bailed on us. How could he bail on us?
I know, imagine, right? Leaving the boys.
God,
Leaving the boys.
108 hours streamed, and he can't show up for another hour and a half to do a podcast. Shocking.
Exactly. And he had like 5 hours left on his stream too. Jeez, how could he fail us like that? Jesus.
One of the things I wanted to talk about, which links into what he's done as part of the subathon, was some of the challenges during it. And I just wanted to get your guys' take on challenges to do with subathons, sub goals. I know Kev yesterday also took part in the one chip challenge that Lynx did during the subathon and took it like an absolute baby.
Honestly, I swear to God, the one that Aaron had, it was like nothing. Like I don't understand. I will buy it for him, and I will give him the one that I had and send it to his address. Like, he was only like £6, like 5-6 quid. But my God.
Was it the one I picked out for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was that one. I looked it up. It's 2.2 million Scoville. And I'm guessing the hottest thing that I've eaten is jalapenos, which is like 2,500 to like 8,000 Scoville. So to go from, even if it was at the high end, like 8,000 Scoville units, to go to 2.2 million Scoville, nah, fam, nah. Like, I opened it up, it smelled like sweaty ballsack, and then
Hang on. No. Did I just remember that? So just clear. Ryan, did you just call Kev a baby for that?
Yeah, he did.
Have you eaten one?
No, because I.
Then shut your fucking mouth until you eat one. You don't get an opinion.
Can I'm going to screenshot the Snapchat conversation that we had. Because he called me a pussy, and then he said, bruh, and then I said, bruh, I'll order you one, and you need to eat it in front of me with no cameras. And he said, no, never.
No.
Pussy.
I called him a pussy.
I don't do well with spice. I am a pussy when it comes to spice, and I will take that in my stride and agree to it.
Then you can't call Kev a pussy for his reaction if you can't handle it.
The reason I called him a pussy was because he spoke about Lynx doing the one chip challenge and how quickly the Lynx grabbed the milk. And then he does his own and is instantly like, no, mine was definitely hotter than Lynx's. You can't say that without having Lynx's or Lynx trying yours and agreeing to it.
How good is Lynx with spice?
I have no idea.
How good is he with spice?
That is why I say you're a pussy and a baby, because you instantly jump to, no, mine was hotter. Mine was definitely hotter.
Dude, can I tell you why? He was just like there casual. He was complaining about it tasting like ass rather than the spice of it. Like, he had no complaints. But I will say, as soon as he ate it, as soon as he put it in his mouth, ate and swallowed, he grabbed his cup of milk or glass of milk, started drinking the milk. So maybe that's why it wasn't as hot for him.
Yeah, it would have been.
So maybe that's the reason. I actually went like 2 or 3 minutes without like drinking anything.
Yeah, a lot of people that do those kind of challenges do usually wait a little bit before they're allowed to drink milk, just to actually go through it first and then have that ability.
Yeah, I've seen people that have said it's 5 minutes. I've seen people that have said it's 10 minutes.
It's usually only a minute or two.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I did that. Like, I've been told that it's like 5 minutes, so I thought, right, I'll aim for the higher end for 10 minutes, because then if I get to 5 minutes,
hang on,
I took like a fucking champ. Like, I'm not sure, but then I didn't even grab milk until maybe like 5+ minutes after, because I just had my sneak there, and I was like, I'll just drink my sneak, and like, that's water, and water makes it worse anyway. But it's just, dude, it was difficult.
I imagine it is. And it was just funny to me that one of the first things you said was mine was definitely hotter than Lynx's, and I was
No, I
instantly
had to
like,
be.
you
Dude, I love
can't
spicy
say
food, though.
that though. Do you
Fucking
know what
can and I
mean?
will. I'm going goblin mode on this shit.
But like, my talking of this, so obviously I've set you your challenge for your sub goal for this month of doing the Sprite challenge. I
Yeah,
just wanted to
so
know if there's any other challenges that like
Is that the one with the banana?
banana.
what? Excuse me.
I'm sure it's like you drink.
What
You drink.
challenge are you thinking of?
No, you drink Sprite and then eat a banana or something. It makes you throw up. I'm sure that's what it is.
No, so
Oh, I'm not doing that.
the Sprite challenge that I've done to Kev is taking a 500 ml bottle of Sprite. You drink it as fast as you possibly can without burping.
Oh, I would do that
And
with Dr Pepper because that shit makes you belch almost instantly.
I know. As soon as it touches my lips, I belch with Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper's bad. Sprite, from what I understand, is the worst drink to do it with. And like I've showed Kev a lot of the videos, like
Yeah, they're quite good.
The burps that come out of people, like they scare themselves with their own burp from trying to hold it in. Like it has made people throw up and froth up Sprite whilst trying to drink it.
I
But
need
it
to
was just
Google
sort of
this
like
now to make sure I'm not just imagining it.
it was just sort of like a funny challenge
give
of
me some
something
banana.
different to do.
Banana and Sprite. Oh.
But has there been
But
like
yeah,
any other
so
challenges that you would be interested in doing, like viral ones that you would like to try?
I
Yeah,
don't mind.
so what I was saying was actually, sorry to interrupt, it is actually a
Fine.
challenge where you have banana and Sprite. You have to drink a can and try and eat 2 bananas, and if you vomit, you fail.
Right, so yeah, I'm not doing any more vomit-inducing challenges, because like I haven't streamed a lot in the past like month, 2 months, because obviously busy starting a new job and learning that, going on the courses and stuff. So I haven't streamed as much. So my sub goal for the last 2 months essentially has been for the one chip challenge. So I finally hit it the other day. But because I did my new overlays and stuff, the sub goal got reset because I coded it myself rather than using the default one. So it got reset. So I said, right, as soon, because I remembered how many subs was left. I said, "Look, as soon as I hit like these last 10 subs, I'll do the one chip challenge. And it just so happened to be like the next day I hit it after seeing Aaron's one chip challenge himself. I was like, yo, he took like a fucking champ. What a guy. And like, even though he did reach for the grass within 10 seconds, but I was like, you still took it like a champ. All he complained about was how bad it tasted. So I bookmarked the link that Ryan sent me before because I've heard of it, but the only one that I could find was the one in America, like the official one, like in America, and it was like 30 quid to buy, and then you had to pay postage to get it to the UK and customs and import tax and stuff. So it's like, look, I'm not paying like 60 quid or whatever it was for one of those challenges things. And then Ryan found one from the UK. So I bookmarked that link and it was like a 5 or 6 quid. That's postage included and stuff. Yeah, you don't get like the banner saying I completed it, blah, 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 whatever. But I just wanted it for the chip anyway. And I opened it up. Like a funny thing is because I don't think you guys were there. And if you were, you weren't listening because Queen like still makes me giggle right now from let's remembering her say it. And I opened it up and I said, that smells awful. It smells like sweaty bollocks or something. And then I said, come up and smell it. So she came up, smelled it. She said, it is fucking black. Like, it was like tar. The stuff on there was like tar, like dusty tar. It was awful. And she smelt it and she went, oh, it smells like sweaty bollocks. And then she sniffed her again and she went, oh, daddy. I was like, what? I was like, can you not tell my stream the smell of sweaty bollocks turns you on? Because like I didn't even know that.
Queen is my hero.
but yeah, like I put it all in my mouth. I ate it. I was like, it's not that bad.
We're still talking about the chip, not the bollocks, right?
Yeah. Right, let me just rewind a second. So I put the chips in my mouth, the other chip in my mouth, and I didn't put it whole. No, I put the chip in my mouth, ate it whole, chewed it, swallowed it. I started licking my fingers, and a bit of dust went on my desk, so I mopped that up and licked that off my fingers just to make sure there wasn't any, and I didn't rub it in my eyes and that kind of stuff, like by accident. I was like, this is fine. And I got like 30 seconds to a minute in, started getting hot. And I was like, oh, that's got hot real quick. It's like, I'm not going to give in and get a drink though. But when I see these videos and I'm thinking, idiot, just breathe through your nose. Like, so you don't breathe through your mouth and make it worse. I was trying to do that. And the more I was doing that, it was like, you know, when you get a flu or you get a fever and
your nose starts to
your nose blocks up. That's what was happening to me. So I can now understand why people breathe through their mouth, because I could not physically breathe through my nose because of the heat. It was like I was having a fever, and then my eyes started watering. You've seen my reaction. I went like a fucking beetroot.
I need to go and find that reaction. That's
like,
what I need to do, because I missed this.
And like a few minutes later, I was like, nah, I need a drink. So I had a drink. And then I went to I was like, I could feel it in my stomach just spinning round and round. It was going crazy down there. I was like, my body is rejecting this wholeheartedly. So I didn't want to throw up on camera. So I went into my bathroom, and just as like I got to my toilet, it came out. And I was like, oh, that was close. Because I tried to stomach it for as long as possible in front of the camera. And then when I come back after about a minute or two, like that was after I threw up. Like, I've never ever thrown up from anything like instantly hitting my stomach before. Like, and it was the heat. It was the heat of it and how hot it made my stomach. It made me just vomit. It was awful. So I did that, washed my hands, washed my face, swilled my mouth out with mouthwash and stuff, because obviously I haven't got time to brush my teeth when I'm on bloody stream. And it was, I got back and it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And I was like, shit, I need to strip. So I took off my hoodie. My wife brought in my pajamas, like my pajama tops. It was honestly the worst thing. And it just kept on getting hotter. Like, even after I finished my stream, it was getting hotter. It was bloody awful. And like, I was violently throwing up after I ended my stream too. Like, I had snot bubbles coming out of my nose. My eyes were streaming.
I really wish you'd carried on streaming.
Like, Queen was just there, stood over me in the bathroom, judging me. It's just like, it was the same, dude. It was the same, like the same sort of fucking energy as, you know, when I did the birthday stream when you guys got me to drink, and I haven't drunk since. It was the same fucking thing. She said, I fucking hated that you've done this to yourself. Why do you fucking put yourself through it? You know you're not a well person. You got things wrong with you. Why do you do it? Like, well, obviously, I haven't outed myself for like having illnesses, but I've got a couple of illnesses that affect my body, and obviously mental health and that kind of stuff. And yeah, but like, I was like, well, I'm doing it for the memes, doing it for the entertainment. Like I said, it seemed like fun. It kind of was fun, but I'm in fucking pain now, and I'm not going to do it again. You live and you learn.
So no one chip challenge for your birthday.
No more one. Yeah, no more one chip challenge. I do want to try the one that Aaron had. I want to try that coffin one. But honestly, Ash, if you like spicy food, or even if you don't, I do implore you to try that challenge.
You've already told me that you've thrown up doing it, so you really think you're selling it to me?
Yo, I'm like, I know Chipotle isn't that hot, but and that kind of stuff, but I've gone and had hot sauce on my Subways with a fucking boatload of jalapenos, Chipotle sauce, and I put extra hot sauce and stuff like that with it. I love hot stuff, but that was fucking difficult.
My dude, you're really not selling it to him at all.
I don't
No,
care.
you're really not.
That's the point.
To be
It's
fair,
a challenge.
I've never
Curiosity.
had like, a subathon challenge before, and I don't think that eating something hot to make myself throw up will be my first one.
You might not throw up though. That's the thing. Like, you might handle it better than me.
I honestly don't know how I would handle it.
There's
like, I'm very curious. I want to see Aaron do that particular one. I will buy it for him. Like, I just want him to do it, even if it's just in a call with us. He doesn't have to do it on stream. Like, I just want to see it. That's the same with you, Ryan. I would just like to see you, even if it's just the corner. Just bite the corner of it.
I can promise you now, you will never see me that chip.
You wait till I get you on a night out.
I promise you now, right? As much as you will never see.
It is a better one. You can't have council stick cuddles unless you nibble this chip.
I will go celibate, gamer.
Now we all know that's a fucking lie.
No, I promise you now.
Yeah, I honestly, guys,
I
like, I
find
don't.
certain tikas hot.
You're one of
Right.
these. You're one of these guys who thinks, "Oh, mayonnaise is spicy."
Listen, I'm one of these guys, right? That'll have a lemon chicken in fucking Nando's, and I'm still a bit like, it's a little bit spicier.
They put spice in this.
I shit you not. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Lemon chicken is. I don't even know if that's spicy or not. It's probably
No,
not.
it's
Right?
not.
There is
There's
spices. There is spices on it, but it's not spicy.
I've
If
never
that
had
makes
Nando's.
sense.
Honestly, I went in. I've been in a Nando's once in my entire life. I went in there. The music was blaring. Everyone was shouting. It was all cramped, and it was just too many people around. And I was just like, nah. The
Honestly,
introvert in
Nando's
me
is
is like,
just overpriced chicken. There's nothing special about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I and then like, I was like, how do we order? How do we do this stuff? Like, does someone come and serve you? Like, it sounds very like posh. Like, I have a server, but like, you know what I mean. When you go to like a restaurant and stuff,
Takes a little bell with him. Servant.
like if it's McDonald's, you go to the kiosk and that kind of stuff. It's blatantly obvious what you do. Like if you go to Brewers Fair, it's the same kind of deal. Like you go up, they come to you, or you order at the bar, then you go and pick up what you want. Or if it's hot food or whatever, they cook it and then bring it to you. Same thing with anywhere else. Like, I don't know, Domino's. No, you don't eat Domino's. Pizza Hut, they bring it to you, or you get the salad, that kind of stuff. But with that, I didn't have a clue. It wasn't obvious. Like, I seen one or two tills, and I thought that was just like where you paid or whatever. But apparently, you order it and pick it up there. I don't know.
No, you don't pick it up. They bring it to the table.
Well, the one that I went in didn't.
Yeah, the one
Like we
where
were
I
sat
am, they
down.
bring it.
Dude, we were sat down, like thinking, what do we have? What are we gonna have? And because it was so loud, we don't like going out and being around people anyway. We're quite introverted, but we felt very uncomfortable and like, what is it, agoraphobic? I think it is.
Yeah.
And it was kind of claustrophobic too, but it was just an awful experience, and we were just trying to look through the menu to see what we have. And as we were doing this, like 5, maybe 10 minutes gone by, and like we grabbed the skill and say, "Excuse me, how do we like go about ordering this thing? Like you guys come to the table? What do we do?" We were just so fucking stupid and oblivious to the entire thing. But she told us, she was like, you go pay, you go up there, tell them what you want, and then you go pick it up at the end. It's kind of the way that they had it was kind of like a school cafeteria kind of thing. Or like, have you ever been to IKEA where it's kind of the opposite of IKEA. Whereas in IKEA, no. In IKEA, you go and pick up your food, you take it to the till, and then they see what's on your plate and whatever, and then they do it that way.
I shouldn't. It was just it was just like, have you been to IKEA? It's nothing like IKEA. It's the opposite of IKEA.
No. That's the easiest way to describe it. Is like you go to IKEA, you pick up your food, you go to the till, and then you pay for it. Rather than saying, look, I want the lemon chicken because it's spicy, and then I want a can of Coke, and then you go and pick that shit up at the end. It's just the opposite.
It's more like pub grub. You'd go to the bar, you order what you want, tell them what table you sat on, and then go and sit back down.
So you're pretty much 50-50 for food poisoning then?
Oh, someone finally sent me a link for the video. Where is it? 2
Ryan
hours
sent it.
41. Yeah, I didn't realise. I was sat looking for it on your Discord and no fucker clipped it.
No, I know. Like, dude, my stream was fucking dead though. Like it was super weird. Like it's gone crazy. I've just lost my touch. Like this time last year.
To be fair, my streams have been like that. I think Aaron's last few have been like that as well.
Like this time last year, I was averaging like 30 to 50 viewers, and it's just been slowly going down. But it was fun. I did mean to go back and clip him. But yeah, like honestly, Ash, if you try it, if Aaron tries it, we'll try and get him to try this one. Because I would, rather than spend like 40, 50, 60 quid on importing that one, the official one or whatever.
That looks fucking disgusting.
Rather than paying like out of the arse for that one, I would much prefer to just send that one to Aaron and be like, yo, try this. Tell me which one was worse. And then if he tells me my one was worse, I'll be happy. If he says both the same or his one was worse, I'll be like, You know what?
He's gonna say his is worse.
If he says his is worse, you're just gonna call bullshit.
I'm just gonna say, you know what? You're a fucking pussy. You drank milk 3 to 5 seconds after you fucking had it. So you washed it down with the thing that washes like the spice away. So nah.
I will say pure rookie error on your part. How you decided it was gonna be a good idea to eat a super hot chip in a hoodie.
In a fucking onesie or whatever that is, yeah.
I'm basically wearing a fucking sheep.
Yeah, I can see the
first thing I would have taken off would be that, yeah.
I had nothing else on underneath it. I was in my boxes the entire stream.
I mean, I'm chilling in my boxes right now.
Yeah, but you haven't got a camera on you.
That's fine.
Trust, if I didn't have a camera on, I would have been butt-ass naked. But yeah,
I just think I don't have a camera on.
Oh.
I will be honest and I will be fair to you. Given your history, Lethal Pursuer moment, I'm shocked you did not rub that on your face somewhere.
Honestly, I'm proud.
I'm both proud did. And shocked.
Aaron ended up touching his eyes off something.
He did later on.
Yeah. Didn't he complain about like going to the bathroom or something? And he was like, I washed my hand like 20 times and it still burns.
Yeah. Instantly, it's hot. And he's already coughing. What are you sucking your fingers for, you fucking tits?
I was getting the residual spice off. This is what I mean.
You fucking idiot. Your tongue is black.
Right, so apparently the one that Aaron did is made with a scorpion pepper ranging from 1 to 1.46 million Scoville units.
And that one's 2.
Mine was 2.2.
So yeah, yours naturally should be fucking worse then.
Naturally.
I'm pretty sure his chip was bigger than yours though.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the chip. Mine was big. I've got a big mouth, okay? But mine was big. Plus, Aaron didn't eat the entire thing. I'm sure like some fell off. just any excuse.
Clawing at excuses.
But that's like.
Why didn't you have milk?
Because I didn't think it'd be that bad.
No, there's a reason people drink milk.
But I didn't want to.
You know what? You just got yourself to blame.
Look.
I agree with Queen. You should have had milk. You're an idiot.
But I didn't want the milk to go warm by the time I did it.
Have it in the fridge and go and grab it just before you do it.
Well, my milk is always in the fridge, but I just wanted to do it because I was getting tired.
So laziness is why you didn't have milk.
Laziness. I was like, yeah,
nothing to do with anything else.
I won't need milk. I got my sneak. Like that's pretty much what went on.
Is there any other challenges you would like to give a try though?
Look, you know me. I'm down for anything. Like twice if I like him.
Yeah, I know that. Like, have you seen?
I'll do any
that
challenge.
Have ever piqued your interest? Like,
wear t-shirt challenge. Just gone.
Like the cinnamon challenge that went round and.
I've done the cinnamon challenge. Back in my early days on YouTube, I used to play FIFA with a friend of mine,
Mr. Kevlar.
Mm-hmm. I used to play FIFA, and I've always thought of ways to try and make games better. And one of the ways that I thought to make FIFA better is to have what's called a connected career mode, which basically is a career mode and you can play it multiplayer as well. So because obviously it didn't have that feature, me and my mate, we started up a new character. We chose a youth character at the same age from a club or whatever, and we played through the season. And then essentially, whoever scored the most goals earned X amount of points. If you won trophies, you'd have more points. If you won the league and that kind of stuff, you get more points. The more prestigious your character has been throughout the season. And essentially, whoever had the most points at the end of the season won, and then the loser had to do a forfeit. And the one of the forfeits that I had to do, because I lost out by like 1 or 2 points, if that, was the cinnamon challenge. And I had a dessert spoon, I think it was. And I hate cinnamon with a passion. But I thought, you know what? Fuck it. Let's have a dessert spoon. You know, the ones that you eat your cereal with, or, well, desserts. I filled that with cinnamon, took it all in one, and it was awful. It was bloody awful. I was coughing out brown powder. It was like I was eating a dehydrated ass or something.
I've just got every urge to clip that little section.
What little section?
I took it all in one, and it tasted awful.
You fucker. But yeah, it was bloody awful. And then he had some stuff that he had to do as well, like because he lost. It was kind of like a back and forth. It was kind of like every season we'd do it kind of thing. We'd have more seasons. And then there was also this challenge that we did, Lemon League. So we used to play Rocket League, and we were both like platinum at the time. So we were both pretty good. And we'd play through the career modes in Rocket League on All Stars, and we'd do the same kind of thing. And then at the end of it, we'd have like a 1v1 against each other. We'd fight each other, and then every time that the opposing player scored a goal, you'd have to take a shot of lemon. So you'd have to like have shots of lemon or lemon juice lined up ready, or fill it up as you're doing it. Like, what is it?
That doesn't sound that bad.
It's not that bad, but it's bad enough. Like, when you're so like screwed up face, like you have to skip the replays, and they can just continue scoring constantly. There's no breaks. You have to skip the replays as well. So like, as you're filling up your shot glass, you've got to take a shot of lemon, and then that's like 5 seconds. That's the countdown timer, and they've already shot, kind of thing. So you've got to be on your A game. I think we had about 20 plus goals in one of them. It was awful. So taking shots of lemon, yes, arguably that is a bit of a weaker sort of forfeit kind of challenge thing to do, but it was like early days, and we didn't want to do something that would, like, I don't know, break the fucking bank or something. Like jumping off of the Leaning Tower of Pisa, without a parachute. But I'm all down for doing pretty much anything, if I'm honest. Like, I really don't care.
No, I gathered that. I was just curious if you'd seen any.
I don't particularly look. Is there any that you've seen? Any of you?
I honestly don't really look.
Yeah, I don't particularly look, but
the last thing I heard about challenges probably was the cinnamon one or the ice bucket challenge. And that's just because it went very viral.
Yeah.
I didn't go looking for it.
Oh, I did do the ice bucket challenge as well.
Oh, you guys done a wet t-shirt contest? I had a picture. What the fuck is this? Everyone went silent.
Yeah, I was just curious of what you said then.
I thought you said someone had sent a picture, so I was clicking on Discord to see if Kevin.
No, I said you have done a wet t-shirt contest, and I haven't had a picture, is what I said.
I was naked. I wasn't naked. I tell a lie. I was in a thong. Yo, I'm not afraid to admit that shit, dude. Do you want to know what was on the thong? A fucking tuxedo. My dick was dressed to the nines. It was cool. It was super cool. Like, I filled it up, and I was pretending I had a towel wrapped around me and whatever.
Oh, you filled up the tuxedo.
Yes, it's very nice. But like, I filled up a bucket. Or is it? Those big sort of plastic flimsy buckets or whatever it is that people use for laundry and stuff. They can come in multiple colors. No, not with holes.
What are you on about?
I don't know.
Big plastic bucket.
It's just gonna come up with cement mixing buckets, pal.
No, it's come up with exactly what I want. I guess you could use it for plastering, but these.
If this is a cement mixing tub, I want to lose. Yep, it is a cement mixing tub. Yep.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. It's a cement mixing tub, dude. Why do they come in
people
blue
use for
and
them?
pink and shit? If they're a cement mixing tub,
because it's easier to see that it needs, like, where the cement is. Because a lot of them are black, and you can't see where the cement is.
Cement is light grey.
When it hardens, what color do you think it goes?
Well, mine goes quite a bright pink when it's hard.
But yeah, you use it for mixing cement.
Right. Okay. A cement mixing bucket. So I filled that up as high as I could to pick it up and get it over my head, and then I just dropped my towel, arse cheeks out and everything, and just like doused myself in them. That was the day that I found out that I like ice baths, because ice baths for recovery is fantastic as well. So doing an ice bath challenge kind of thing isn't a challenge because I enjoy them.
Have you seen the Kevin Hart clip of him doing the ice bath challenge?
Oh,
Yeah,
I've seen all the videos.
They brought out like the tiniest little ball of ice for him to sit.
But like it's always a shock. If you're going to do it, if you do ever feel curious, like because I think that's what got me with the one chip challenge. I've wanted to do it since I saw Good Mythical Morning, I think it was. Since I've seen them guys do it, I've always wanted to do it, and I haven't sort of like pursued it until now. But like if you do get curious of doing a challenge, I definitely recommend it. But if you wanted to do an ice bath just to see what it's like, if you like, for example, Ryan, with you, with with football and stuff, if you're having a pretty rough day and you feel quite rough or whatever, have an ice bath.
I will kind of back that. I haven't had an ice one, but I've gone in the shower and just put it all the way to freezing. Like after it's like with some of the heat waves we had, and obviously I work outside, so the first thing I do is like just get undressed, put it as far cold as it'll go, and just sit underneath it for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah,
and it is nice.
That's all well and good, but ice baths hit different. They literally do. Like the worst part is your extremities, so like your toes, your fingers, that hurts. But after 60 seconds to a minute,
I think I'm putting my fucking peen in there now.
Honestly, that was fine. It was my ring that was the worst part.
Your ring,
if anything, my cornhole, my butt, my I don't know, my poop chute. That thing.
Problem one, gamer. I don't own a bath.
Do you not?
No.
A lot of places don't own baths.
I have just a shower. Second of
Yeah,
all,
most people have a shower.
That's how I finish all of my showers. Is I'll have a shower and the last like 30 seconds I will blast.
30 seconds, dude. I spent half an hour in an ice bath until all the ice melted.
Why do you do the last? Do I want to know?
It's supposed to be really healthy for your skin, actually.
Okay, I've never heard of that.
So sarcastically saying it's working wonders for you, isn't it, right? It's actually, I think the way you're supposed to do it is have 30-second bursts of cold throughout your shower, not at the end.
No,
because essentially the heat obviously opens up your pores, and then the cold contracts your skin, which makes it close the pores.
Yeah, that's the whole point. So once you've used the heat, cleaned yourself and cleaned your pores, you blast yourself cold and get out, so your pores are then closed, and not then picking up dirt immediately after getting out of the shower.
But yeah, I do recommend it. It's pain. It's totally different to a shower because I used to like cold showers as well. But
you know also when like pain, so you're really not selling this to me.
No. You know when you've gone out in the snow and then your feet have got cold and it's like that.
I hate it.
Yes, but it only lasts for like a little while. As soon as you get in your house,
I'm within a grumpy person.
Within 5 minutes, it's gone. Right? It's the same thing in the bath. Within like 2-3 minutes, it's gone because your body's used to it. And the worst thing you can do is sort of like get your legs in, then tutty down and like get your ass in, then get your stomach and chest in. Like you need to like, even if you just sit in it first off and then get your back in after about 60 seconds, just wait until your sort of feet acclimatized to it a little bit and then submerge. And then you can just lie there. And it's actually extremely relaxing. It really is. Honestly, it's the most relaxed. It sounds weird, but it is the most relaxing bath I've ever had in my life, is an ice bath. Like, if you can get past like the first 3 minutes. And it does wonders for your skin as well. You feel amazing. You feel super refreshed when you get out. It's fantastic. It's honestly amazing.
Maybe when I get a bath, I might consider it.
That's a lot of ice you got to buy.
Honestly, it wasn't that much. I think I bought 2 bags of ice.
So what you really just had was a cold bath with 2 bags of ice in.
They were big fucking bags of ice, Ryan. You could probably do with just 1 bag.
How you're a little fella. How big were your bags of ice?
How big were your sacks?
Well, ask my wife. But no, it was a couple of kilograms.
Yeah.
That's all I remember is
Like even the small bags in most supermarkets are 1 kilo ones, so a couple of kilograms isn't still not that big of a bag of ice.
Oh, it was between like 5 and 10.
That jumped up quite a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my god, do I have to really go on Morrison's website and find out?
Went on Wix to prove a point with your fucking little tub.
That is, dude, it's not little though. They're big.
I know, I use them.
They're not that big.
Shut up, Ryan. You could have a bath in one of those.
And they're not that big. They're really not. Like, as much as Ash has got a lot more experience working in it, I did do it as a job for a good while.
Sorry, Chase just read it out and I got deafened. What did you say? Sorry.
As much as Ash probably got more experience using them, I do have experience using those buckets, and they're really not that big.
Right, so it was 4 kilos there.
4 kilos per,
Nice.
like per bag or
No, for them both.
2 kilogram? Okay.
They're 2 kilogram bags of ice. See, so I was close to 5 kilograms.
In total?
I didn't say separately.
You said 2 bags, 5 to 10 kilogram bags.
That's
like 10 to 20 kilo range.
No, I wouldn't put 10 to 20 kilos.
You fucking dumbass. Oh.
Fuck off.
Oh my god.
It would be a bath of ice if there was 10 to 20 kilograms of ice in there.
Also, I'd just like to say, this is more of a message for Aaron if he watches this. I'm very sorry for the spam that you've had because I've just tried to scroll up to the notes and there's so much shit.
Yeah, there is.
But
yeah, I'm down for any challenge. Like, I'm looking for things when I'm gaining and losing followers at an alarming rate. It's kind of bloody weird, and it's funny because, like, I know probably 90% of them, 95% of them are bots, because it's gone through it, and I've seen people that have been banned from the channel and stuff, or like their accounts have been terminated because I was going through like the manage the founders badges and stuff like that, because I can do that again now, and I just wanted to take one person off there. Good luck finding out who it is.
I feel like I might know.
Really?
Well, I'm not going to say while we're recording a podcast.
No, that's fair enough. You could message if you like, but it's probably not who you think, because I can't. To be honest, I can't even remember who it was. But if I see the name, I'll remember. If that makes sense. No, that was ages ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the first one that I did. When I was cycling through them, and there's people that I either haven't seen or I remember them from like a year, 2 years ago, that they came in with a raid and whatnot, or they were there for like a month or two and then haven't seen them since or whatever. But then there was like people coming up and it said deleted user, and then it said suspended user, and then it said suspicious user. I was like, what the hell is this? But it wouldn't let me click on the usernames. So there's still people in my sub list that had deleted accounts, banned accounts, and for some reason suspicious. So I'm guessing they're like a botted account or suspected to be a botted account or something like that. So I know Twitch is going through loads of ban waves and stuff like that as well, because they're constantly doing it.
Twitch is just weird, dude.
Like, dude, I swear to God, I've been stuck on like 18. Or am I on at the minute? 1815 at the minute. I've been stuck between 1810 and 1820 for like the last couple of weeks. Like, I know I haven't streamed much, but like I'm seeing people follow me and the counter isn't even going up. And then like after the end of the stream, like a few hours later, I'm going on my dashboard to like sort out some commands and stuff. And then it's back up to it's up to 20. And then within like 10 minutes, it's back down to 10. It's like it's weird. It's like accounts are being deleted, re-added, but I'm not getting any notification when it goes up that the followers, like somebody's followed me, if that makes sense. So because if you look in channel dashboard, it'll say so and so followed you, or so and so subscribed, or so and so rated you, that kind of stuff.
Like my last 2 streams that I done on my channel, one was for my birthday, which would have been 2 years ago now. Um,
and what a quiet 2 years it's been.
Yeah, 2 years from my birthday, and then which would have been in August, and then I done one stream in the January. I think I was testing out to see how my internet could handle things, and it didn't go well. But
You got so
since
frustrated, I can remember.
since that stream in January, I have gained 16 subscribers.
I remember you saying about this. It's bloody weird.
What? Even to the point where I think like I went on my dashboard to have a look at something just randomly, and some random guy
I do remember that.
subscribed to
You were on
me.
call with me when it happened.
Yeah. I was like, he subscribed to me like 4 days ago. Like, where the fuck is this coming from? And like, I've never seen him before. I've never spoken to this person. I don't know who they are. But they went onto a channel that hadn't streamed for months and subscribed to them. Like, Twitch is a weird place.
Yeah, it's definitely strange.
Did you guys see about like the whole Twitch stop gambling?
Yes,
I did. Yes.
Like,
because that was quite interesting.
Yeah, I'll let you guys talk a little bit about that for a second, because I just can't believe what went on.
Yeah, so like just to outline it, I can't remember the exact name of the streamer that was involved, and I don't really want to go around like naming and all the rest of it. But a streamer was essentially going to his subscribers and followers and asking to borrow money, saying that he would then pay them back because he was struggling with bills, etc., etc. But he was then gambling this money and then approaching other subscribers to the point where they realized he was basically stealing a lot of money off people.
Yes, it's not just the subscribers and stuff too. There was other popular streamers, and because he had a partner badge, people like if you have a partner tick on Twitch, people will automatically think that, yo, you're a Twitch partner, you must be making bank, you must be making loads. But in reality, like, it depends on the person. But I've seen people that like pushing for partner in the title, and then they get partner, and then they've averaged the 75 plus viewers, and then as soon as they get partner, those people leave and they're stuck back again on like 20-30 viewers, and it's the same kind of stuff that they had before they were partner, before they had like that partner push thing. So there's a lot of affiliates that make more money than partners do.
I don't like the whole partner push thing, and I've spoken about it before with people, and like a lot of people point out is there are so many people that will jump on the hype of a partner push purely because they're like, if this person blows up and I'm there to be around for it, I could get dragged along with them.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they get partner and they don't blow up or go viral, it's like, oh well, bye.
Yeah.
On to the next partner push, I guess.
I don't like it personally, but people see that badge and they think that they got money, so they're good for it, kind of thing. And there was one person in particular that I read up about, and they give that person upwards of 10 grand. And apparently there was thousands and thousands. And it was other partners, other streamers he was going at, people in his Discord, like you said, subs, regulars, and just anyone that would give money, he would take it and he would gamble it. And it's fucking awful. Using people like that. And there's this one particular person, they shared their screenshots and they were like, he asked for more money essentially. And it was like, I can't, because like I've got barely enough to cover my bills, so I can't. And it was just awful to see those people get scammed and then they're left with nothing. But I did see something good. I think, was it XQC and someone else? Didn't they start something around this where they tried to raise money or get some money for the people that were affected by this?
I think that a few people have sort of got together and spoke about it. I'm not exactly sure exactly what came from it. I just thought it was quite interesting that people sort of jumped on the thing of stopping Twitch from promoting gambling in terms of like using it for like channel points and things like that.
Yeah.
And
sorry, I'm just doing a little bit of research. It was XQC and Ludwig. They're and 300 grand that they were trying to get. So he said, XQC said, I'm not going to name the person, but we're aware about the situation and the victims who were scammed out of their money. It's heartbreaking. So me and Ludwig will be trying our best to get the money back to those people. It's about the victims, only them. This will take time. It's 300 grand, well, upwards of 300 grand.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fucking money, dude. Like that is a house. That is like a good house in America. It's a fantastic house in the UK. Like it's money for bills for years, even. Like obviously just for one person, but like that amount of money across however many people, that is fucking insane. It's absolutely crazy.
I'm just curious, like, what's your opinion on the whole, like, I don't want to say it's cancel culture, but it is essentially cancel culture of, like, we don't like this thing, stop promoting it, get rid of it.
I hate cancel culture. Even if it's kind of a difficult subject, like if the person not so much deserves it, but I don't think it's cancel culture in a way. Like this person, for example, right? So this person took advantage of their viewers, their peers, their friends, and their family, and whoever else was involved. They took advantage of them, essentially conned them out of their hard-earned cash that they need to live on, cash that everyone's going through a shortage of money because of the cost of living and everything. They're struggling to pay their bills and whatnot. And he took advantage of someone's goodwill or multiple people's goodwill. Yes, gambling is an addiction as well. So there is that part of like empathy. But then when you bring other people into it like that, it's difficult. And the entire cancel, I don't think they should be out to get him as in cancel culture. It's more to spread awareness about it. So then the more people that know about this person, then they know not to trust them rather than canceling them. And then let people make up their own minds rather than peer pressure saying this person is absolutely horrible. You better not like him, or you better not watch him, or you don't associate with him anymore. That kind of stuff. Like that part of cancel culture, because then that affects people's own ability to think and make opinions of themselves. That's my view on it. Like,
so not so much as the person being cancelled, because for them as that individual, their actions were abusive of their position of trust, which
using the position
allow
of power.
them to then have that position of power back encourages them to then abuse it again, and it then just becomes a cycle. So I sort of get removing that power from him in that sense. But
this is where it comes in with forcing your opinion on other people, where it's like you shouldn't be supporting him, telling them what to do rather than informing them what he's done. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, rather than outright telling people not to go watch him, support him, just educate people on what that person's done.
And awareness rather than
like
obviously it varies from situation to situation. Like there's a lot of Minecraft YouTubers that have come out to be child abusers or sexual predators, that kind of stuff. Again, it's not that I don't believe they shouldn't be cancelled, but I'm all for cancelling them. Like, it's kind of hypocritical, but that is way more serious because that affects the safety of children and lives in such a totally different way to abusing the power of trust. But it is difficult. Like, you need to spread awareness, and obviously anyone in their right mind, if you get educated that this particular YouTuber or person is a child predator, then anyone in their right mind will be like, yo, I'm going to stay the fuck away from that person. Like, it goes the same for this, rather than...
The difficult part about that is with Twitch, like, you think the amount of users that are on there, that person has only got to make a brand new account with all new name, everything. Like, you could go from being King Crazy to being something completely different, have a whole new persona, change.
You would.
Take away your face cam and have an avatar instead, and even people who would know who King Crazy was might not know that that's you.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that, and I've actually seen that happen right now.
So, like,
a couple of months ago, somebody got cancelled It was.
I know exactly who. I think I know who you mean.
Do you wanna DM me just quickly?
DVD streamer.
Yes.
Yeah, but then I know exactly who you're talking about. I don't need to DM you.
Right. Multicolored.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know. Cool. So this person got cancelled for something that they did, and it was bloody horrific. It was awful, and I witnessed things like that live on stream, and I thought that they were okay at first. Even played a few games with them, and then I noticed some weird sort of things.
Interactions.
Yeah, interactions. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't feel comfortable. So rather than, because I hate drama, like rather than being like, oh, I'm leaving, blah, 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 well, whatever, I just like unfollowed, just left, cut ties, that kind of thing. A couple of weeks or a month or so later, the guy got cancelled. And I don't mean guys in like boy or girl. I use it as like gender neutral term. So you can't say it like, oh, it's a guy. Who is it? You know what I mean? But the guy got cancelled, and they just disappeared for a while. And then not so long after, I got recommended this channel on Twitch, and I was like, that profile picture looks really familiar. And then
they didn't even take the camera off either. Like, it was obvious who it was.
I know. I was like, what the hell? So I looked on the camera, and I was like, that's this guy. And I was like, oh my God, like, do they not learn? And they were still the same sort of.
They didn't change their personality at all. They were
No,
exactly
I was just about to say, same shitty personality. I don't like talking ill of people, even when they deserve it, because I don't want to like bring that negative energy, because I'm always like a positive fucker.
He hadn't learned from his mistakes of
No.
why he was banned. He just decided, fuck it, I'll make a new persona. That's effectively what he did.
Exactly. The only thing that changed was the camera placement on the screen. I think it was on the opposite side of the screen.
Well, and that and the name.
Yeah, and the name. But everything else was identical, and it was just like, it was obvious. And then I decided to search their name, and there was people that already made accounts under that person's name before they did. So, for example, if their new Twitch name was King Crazy, they must have been on it, like knowing exactly what he's what they're doing, and they made the account under their name before he, oh God, before they could, fuck, and they were posting as that person on Twitter, saying, oh, yo, you can change your name, but you can't change your personality, or you can't change what you've done, or this, that, and the other. And they were sort of like, they were flaming him, but not trying to cancel him, but they were basically making people aware. Yeah, exposing him, yeah. They were educating people that this person used to be this person, and this is what they did. And now they've made a new account, and this is their name now. They're going under this persona, and it's the same, like, not very nice person and not very nice personality. And I
agree that people should be made aware.
It's the education part of me that it pisses me off, because people are too, with this day and age, people don't think for themselves. People are more sheep these days than anything else. If somebody that's got a strong opinion, or like, for example, people on Twitter, a lot of them think that they're gods because they've got like a massive follow count, and they've got people interacting. Oh, I love you regardless, blah blah blah, whatever you do, and they stand them, bestie. They stand them, that kind of thing. They're always going to have people in their corner bigging up their ego, and because they've got so much interaction, so many people agreeing with them, it goes to their head, and then they think that they can push their opinion on people because they follow them blindly. Say, for example, I had 1 million followers, and I said right now, Indominus Ash, he sucks, he's such a toxic person, this, that, and the other, without no proof. I'd say at least 50% of those people, like, whoever,
easily would go over the stream.
Exactly, would go over and start abusing you, saying what I did. Say, for example, I said that, I don't know, you let your snakes bite your toes because you get pleasure out of it. I don't know. Why that was the first thing into my head, I don't know. But then if I said something along the lines like that, or like you abuse animals, or you I don't know, just abuse people in your stream for views or something like that, that kind of stuff whether it's true or not, the people that follow me blindly would go to your stream, go to your socials, no matter how old or how new the socials is. It could be like a social media you haven't used for 10 years. They'd go on there, they'd find it, and they'd comment the shit that I'd said. And it'd be like Chinese whispers as well. I'm not even sure if you can say that, but if that's offensive to anyone, I'm sorry. But like in school, we used to have this game called Chinese Whispers, where you'd say something and then you'd pass it on, and then it eventually, by the time it got to the last person, it would be something totally different or blown out of proportion. That's what that was. And it would be the same thing. Like it would just start spreading and getting bigger, and then rumors would go to other things, and then it would just blow everything out of proportion. And then Ash would be then cancelled for something either he's not done, or just because of the raw power of people following other people blindly just because they got a big following, that kind of thing. So this is why education for everything is important. Because if I said Ash gets pleasure out of his snakes biting his toes, can't snakes even bite toes?
Of course they can bite toes, what do you mean?
Like nibble on them, you know what I mean?
What kind of question is that?
I don't know, but
you hurt my brain sometimes, I swear.
I hurt my own brain, but you know what I mean. So
you don't have a brain.
That, it's true. So instead of like you get that happened, I could have like had a private conversation with you where like you was cleaning out your snake or something, you was talking to me on comms, and your snake sort of like slid down or whatever, he's on the floor and he bit your toe, you know. And like,
yeah, to check out a context. I see where you're trying to go.
Yeah, I took it out of context. He was cleaning out the cage, not the cage, the tank. It is the tank, isn't
Vivarium.
it? That's a bloody fancy word. Provarian.
Vivarium.
Oh,
V-I-V.
Oh, sorry, Vivarian. Cleaning out the Vivarian of the snake tank.
Don't fucking mess with Snake Boy.
And your snake just like slid down. It's like, yo, that looks like a little mouse.
Can you stop saying the snake slid down, please, for the love of God?
Why? Is that what you've been laughing at the entire time?
You fucking child.
Jesus.
Now you're making my head hurt.
The snake slithered down and just nommed on your toe. And then you went, ooh, and giggled about it or whatever. I don't know. But like I blew it out of context saying that. And then, well, actually, there's a perfect example of this. I don't want to say names, but
I know where you're going with this.
That person.
Never mind. I don't know where you're going with this. I don't know
that person, and they're sort of like in a circle, right? Not so long ago, they started pouring up fake beef on Twitter just before TwitchCon. They put like all this fake beef on Twitter and stuff like that on TwitchCon, before TwitchCon, and then people thought it was real, and people because of there we go. So that, right? So you might remember it. So
no,
Ryan probably might.
Yeah, I know
that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was replacing it on that as a joke, because the one person went on holiday, and then the other person they sort of conducted among themselves to be like, oh, let's have some fake beef or whatever, and they started beefing each other on Twitter, and because they're so sort of sarcastic or whatever, people thought it was a joke at first, but then they carried on. So people started thinking it was real, and then they started both audiences were going after each other's like hosts, for example, and they thought it was full on beef, and until they revealed obviously later on that it was all satire and it was all just basically they were just doing it for views and for content and just to get bigger, that kind of shit. And then something actually happened at TwitchCon, which sort of ended their friendship pretty much. And then the one person that they were faking the beef with deleted all the socials, deleted all streaming, like every single social media account totally disappeared off the face of the earth because of it. So this is, and it was totally unrelated. That person actually did something horrendous. But before that, they were faking it. So that's the kind of thing that we're on about. Like, you just need to educate. Because things can be taken out of context or things can be taken seriously just because you got a big following or you got a loyal following. Your followers will believe every single word you say blindly without a shred of sort of evidence and stuff. And they'll just go out and blindly follow you and just abuse whoever you're throwing that abuse out, cancel culture at. They'll just jump on the bandwagon and do it. That's the thing.
See, I've never been involved in this sort of thing, but I have seen
Same.
big things of it. So one of the ones a long time ago, and anyone that follows Pokemon know instantly who I'm talking about. There was a dude going on a witch hunt for anyone that used hacks to create have Pokemon in games. That was the whole thing. He went
I've
out
not
of his
heard of
way.
this.
Oh yeah, it was a huge thing. He went out of his way to analyze people's videos or things they'd said, take things out of context to make it sound like they'd done it, and then he would go mental over it, and he'd monetize all his videos when he did it, just for the viewership, and it was making it bigger, and then he would just go for other smaller PokeTubers, and he kept on doing this, but because of his large following and his large ego, he was one of the top. Probably one of the top, in terms of PokeTubers, how big they were. But he would target people that were very, very good in debates and things. I feel like you just messaged me. Yeah, you did. I haven't seen his name for ages, but I'm sure he's still going around. But yeah, he targeted someone who I used to watch, but he is incredibly smart. He's got degrees in genetics and all sorts. He's really, really good. But he then started sort of fighting back and defending himself and his friends, because the Pokemon community is very, very intertwined.
Yeah.
So he was going out of his way to defend himself, his friends, all this, but he would never monetize any of his videos because he hated drama. But to prove more of a point,
No, I'm
he
not
did
doing it for the
monetize
money.
his
I'm doing
reply.
this to prove a point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
then the dude would do another video on his reply and pick it apart and monetize that. And it would just spiral out of control.
So that name that you just sent me, is that the person? Is that the dick person?
That's the dick one.
Right, cool.
But yeah, he would only target people that were smaller than him, because his fan base was so loyal and blinded.
Yeah, because all they see is a number.
Yeah, basically. And nearly every single one, it's not even like what we were talking about, 50%, it was nearly everyone would jump from that PokeTuber to whoever he was attacking and just spam him with hate. And a lot of the times, they weren't hacking. They had legitimate proof. There's a very famous one who does videos. I can't remember exactly what the whole concept of them are, but he has an entire group of people that breed competitive Pokemon for him. He actually pays 5 or 6 people to just breed Pokemon for him so he can upload these videos. And he literally had to go out of his way. He never mentioned it ever in his life that that's what he did. But he had to reveal how he was doing it and own up that, I'm paying these people to do this for me. And he shouldn't have had to have done that. Just to defend himself. And at the end of the day, if it was illegal enough that Pokemon didn't want it a thing, they'd just ban them. You don't need to go on a witch hunt.
Yeah, exactly. And if it was any of the online games anyway, there's a protection thing where you can
yeah, if the mon's illegal, you can't even bring it in.
You can't even bring it in. That's the thing, yeah.
But it doesn't provide a competitive advantage. It's just you don't have to spend 5 months breeding it.
Yeah, exactly.
But the dude was going out of his way for it, because even tournament winners, because they would go into a joke-ish battle with some. I'm just going to say free-for-all because that's what it was. It's going to limit down who this is going to be. But they would go into free-for-all battles where they would be given 3 months that they have to use just from a roulette number or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they just have it coded in. They would just sort of spawn it in because it was a private battle. It didn't mean anything. They're not going to use them anywhere else. And because the competitive dude used that, the one who won the tournaments, this guy went after him he uses hack Pokemon. It's the dude's literally doing a joke battle with some mates, having a laugh, and you're going to attack him for something he does professional, where he doesn't do this. Where's the logic in that?
Yes.
All for money. That's all it was.
Yeah, views, money.
Content and money. That's all it was over.
I'll tell you I've never particularly watched a lot of Pokemon stuff. I've watched like breakdowns or like tutorials or whatever, like shiny hunting, for example. The only YouTuber that I watched and I only felt that I needed to watch was actually A Drive.
Yep, I knew you were going to say. As soon as you said shiny hunting, I knew you were going to say A Drive.
I haven't watched him for years, since like Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, and because that was when I first sort of seen him, and he's flat out the only streamer that I've ever watched with Pokemon. Obviously I've tuned into you and like other guys like in my circle. That's I think that's different personally. Like,
yeah, it is different.
Because like it's not so much you're doing it because you're a friend or you're doing it because whatever. Like it's their sort of entire content revolves around Pokemon, so they will know the ins and outs of it. It's like you wouldn't come to me to watch World of Warcraft when Asmongold knows the ins and outs. You wouldn't come to Aaron, for example, to know about everything about Killer on Dead by Daylight. You'd go to watch Starver or someone that's played the game for like 10 times the amount of time that he has, and just know. I just read Aaron's message. Speaking of Aaron, so watching A Drive, and everything. That's the only thing that as much as I was like fully balls deep into the Pokemon community, like with playing the game and like knowing things and this, that, and I didn't watch a lot of content creators. It was mainly that just A Drive, and I felt he was like the go-to, because everyone else, they would either stretch out their videos to be like 10-15 minutes so they can get a certain amount of ads, and it would just be boring. They wouldn't get much.
That was the dude I was telling you about. Like every video. No, I used to be very big in the well, not like big as in like everyone knew me sort of thing, but I used to like watch a lot of different content creators for Pokemon. Well, you've obviously know I'm into competitive battle. I'm into shiny hunting. I'm into most of it. So like going around and seeing what's meta, what people's ideas are, what people are using, it's good information for me. And shiny hunting again, like it's nice to wind down and watch someone else do it while you're doing it yourself. So yeah, I did come across a lot of these. What the fuck? Did come across a lot of these like cancel culture things with this guy, because that was his content at the end of the day. He was uploading 10 or so videos every single day, 10 minutes long, over petty little things just to make money, and he was running out of ideas, and that's the way he went. He started witch hunting.
Exactly, and that's like people like that is the reason why things on YouTube and stuff like that had to change.
Yeah.
Because do you remember the guy Leafy is here?
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't. I don't think he was out to witch hunt people.
No.
He was basically the OG cancel culture boy, and he was like this little emo guy that would just whisper into his mic like this, well, as he talks sarcastically and with like jokes and innuendos and whatnot in his content, basically exposing people for what they do and exposing people for their content and how they're just taking advantage of people, or they're just like just dicks, essentially. They're just not very good people. And because he had this sort of like, it wasn't so much, he wasn't a witch hunter, but he had that kind of vibe about it. Although he advised not to give hate and that kind of stuff, he had so many people come in. He didn't care who he went after. He could have, like, he'd have 500k subscribers and he'd go after someone with 10 mil. He didn't care. If someone was in the wrong, he'd go after them. And it wasn't so much going after them. He was just like I said, giving educational insight to what that person does. And he got cancelled for it. Like he earned loads of it. But he was just doing his CSGO surfing videos while he commentated over the top. And it was videos like that and like what the guy that you said about, and things like Logan Paul with the suicide forest, is what drove YouTube to change for so many people. Because like someone could just start up a channel tomorrow, get like phone verification and whatever, get monetization on their channel, start like witch hunting videos like, yo, this person is using hacked Pokemon, blah blah blah, and then they get a load of views from it. It goes viral. They earn a shitload of money from witch hunting people,
Mhm.
and then then
And the
it's a
person that
spiral.
they attack then has to either defend themselves or put up with all the hate for the rest of their life, which
Yeah, exactly,
And if they reply, they just make another video anyway, and they
yeah,
get more money out of it. It's a
precisely,
lose-lose situation.
exactly. It's just an awkward situation to be in, and this is where the old cancel culture thing comes in. Like, yeah, some people shouldn't have a position of power. I do think that Twitch stopping gambling is a good thing.
yeah, I agree with that.
Going back to the original.
Yeah, we went on a hell of a tangent.
Yeah, going to the original reason why we started talking about this stuff. So Twitch stopping gambling, 100% like agree. Same with, I do feel as if things like hot tub streams, even though I've done one,
Yeah, they shouldn't be on Twitch.
anything that is like that, I don't feel it should be on Twitch, because as much as you can go to a leisure center, like in a public swimming pool or a beach or something, you can see people in bikinis. It is very suggestive content to be on Twitch, like that kind of thing, especially when they're literally riding bananas and stuff like that, insinuating things. It can be seen as innocent, but the fact that those channels aren't marked for 18 plus audiences, or even if they are, I think the way that
You
Twitch
just
needs
click a button and you can watch it. Like, it's
exactly,
the whole 18 plus thing means nothing. All it
and
is almost like something for them to fall back on. Like, ah, well, you agreed that you're 18 plus.
exactly.
It's
I
Twitch
I
covering its own ass rather than caring.
Yeah, it's not
exactly.
proof of anything.
I think that personally that you should have some sort of verification, like if you have a credit card, for example. So in order to watch 18 plus streams, you need to have an account created and verify a credit card. Or like, for example, on porn websites or like the cam websites, if you want to be a creator on them, you have to upload a government issue ID. It's the same with like PayPal. If you start a business, PayPal or whatever, you have to, in order to like be accepted or to verify your documents, otherwise they'll limit your funds and stuff. You need to upload a document of government issue ID. So if Twitch wants to have gambling on the website, if they want to have hot tub streams on the website, if they want to have any suggestive content or any 18 plus content on the website, they should have this form of verification. So it doesn't stop Amaranth or whatever her name is from doing hot tub streams and whatever she does. It doesn't stop that guy who we talked about doing gambling streams and people playing poker and whatnot and just gambling on their streams. If that's what they want to do to make their content, go ahead and make it. But Twitch needs to be like, right, here's the line. There's no 18 plus content that's suggestive or sexual or gambling or whatever else. Or they have like a government issue ID or a credit card or some way of verifying that that person with the account is over the age of 18. Because what's stopping me making a brand new email address, like little horny 13-year-old, doesn't really know about porn for whatever reason, making a new email address. Shit, I can't, because I can't log in on watching 18 plus because I put my real age on Twitch. So I made a new email address, go on Twitch, make a new account, put my age as like 18 plus. Like, for example, I'm 33. Shove that I'm 33 in there. Like, awesome. I get to watch pretty much butt ass naked women or men or any like 18 plus or suggestive content or gambling content, and then I go and grab my mommy or daddy's credit card and then I go gamble it away. Or I go and just watch suggestive, lewd, almost nude content on Twitch, where Twitch, it's never been like, when people say it's a gaming website, it's never been that. It's a content creation website. It's a live streaming service website. That's what it is. So I don't agree with people when they say it used to be like a gaming website. It didn't. That's what it was mainly used for.
The just chatting thing is the most popular
part
of it. It's not even gaming. It's literally the just chatting.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather see restriction and education over cancel.
Yeah.
Like, instead of getting rid of gambling, restrict it to over 18 and educate people on gambling and the problems that go along with it. Same as any advert to do with gambling on TV has the Gambler Aware website, and they talk about Gambler Aware.
I was just about to say that. What I was thinking about was, you know, the in-banner ads that they use where the sort of player goes a little bit smaller, kind of like how it does on YouTube, where an ad comes up from the bottom of the screen, so you can still see the entire image, but there's that little banner there. What if you are in a stream that has any form of gambling, like maybe rather than it being a perma banner, have something come up like every time they run an ad or every time ads get served, it is a gamble aware ad specifically.
Even if it was just like every 20 minutes or every half an hour, that banner come up for a minute.
Yeah. And make it a requirement for the
interrupt
person.
They wouldn't have a choice if gambling is on the screen. It should be able to recognize that.
It is more of a case of, instead of Twitch trying to cover their own ass, trying to protect the community that they already have.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to at the end of the day.
But like there's
That's
so
the
many
thing.
instances where societal issues come up, and instead of trying to find the proactive way of dealing with it, everyone wants to sort of be like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. Let's absolutely ban it and sweep it under the rug so it never happens."
Exactly. It's
But
just putting a plaster on it.
it's not even just a plaster. You're effectively sweeping it under the rug and pushing it out of the way instead of using your influence as a content creator, as the media website that Twitch is, to reach out to people and educate them. Like I've had issues with gambling in the past, not to the extremes that people have had, but like I've fully spent the last of my money on football bets on a weekend, knowing full well I've got another week before I get paid.
Yeah.
It's not that bad, but I had an issue where it was like I would choose to gamble over doing other things. And like sweeping it under the rug to me does nothing. And the whole thing of like banning adverts, because there was a guy that was like, "Oh well, if the advert didn't come up for me to spend all my money on Rooney to score the next goal, then I wouldn't have done it." It was like, no, mate, if you've got a problem with gambling, you're gonna gamble and you'll find a way to do
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Have that advert, but have the support in place of gamble aware, of education.
This is what I mean. I think where the banner ads and everything would be great. If you are on a gambling stream, maybe it's a requirement. They should build it into Twitch. If that person is streaming gambling of any kind, a Twitch notification or something comes up in their chat every 10 minutes, just a link to gamble aware or whatever. Or that person has to like sign or like agree to terms to like at least every half an hour to an hour or so, just even mention gamble away. Like it's not so much as an ad spot kind of thing. And it also came to me just now when I was when you was talking, Ryan. You know what I said about the age restriction with uploading valid ID or credit card? YouTube does it. The age restriction on YouTube, to get around it, you need to upload an image of valid ID or credit card.
Yeah.
So I'm literally on YouTube support right now.
No, I remember doing it.
Yeah. So if that's to watch age restricted videos. So if YouTube can do it, why can't Twitch?
Well, Twitch technically already does.
How?
You put it in for affiliate.
Yeah, but that's only if
It
you
doesn't
stream
check.
and go for
It
affiliate.
doesn't.
That
It doesn't
do anything
verify
for
your age.
casual viewers.
I could make. Oh, my daughter could make an account right now.
No, I know it does
my
now.
name.
But I'm saying when you're filling out the stuff for affiliate, you need to post a picture of your ID. So they already have it. It's just only if you get to that point. I think it might actually be for PayPal that I did it for, but you still got to link it to Twitch anyway for it to work.
Oh yeah, for PayPal you have to.
Yeah, so that's probably what I did it on.
Yeah, you did it on PayPal. You don't have to do it on Twitch. The only thing that you do on Twitch is put your age on there, or that's even if you have to. If you do put your age on, I'm not sure if you do, but do feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you do.
But yeah, it doesn't ask when it says this stream is intended for mature audiences. It says what?
You literally just
okay.
click yes.
I'm mature. Like that's all you. It doesn't age restrict it.
It doesn't. It just makes you click a button.
Yeah, it tells you it's intended for mature audiences.
It makes you click the button to say Twitch is not liable for anything you see in this stream.
Yeah. Whereas if they said, it's like there's a lot of people that have 18 plus in their stream names, and I've wondered why. and I saw a video. It was a little clip of someone, and they were actually answering that question, and it's a pretty much valid answer because it's kind of like me, it's kind of like you, Ash, and Aaron. It's kind of like all of us, really. It's like it's not so much we try to aim to be family friendly. It's just we kind of are most times. There are times where we swear or we make rude jokes and that, or innuendos and that kind of thing. So we don't really want kids to be around. But on the off chance that there are kids around or whatever, they've put it in their title that it's really for 18 plus
Yeah.
stream. So they're covering their ass doing it that way.
I actually had one of my viewers who was a streamer actually did get their account banned because they didn't have that enabled. And they
Really?
got reported for swearing and making lewd jokes. They actually had their account banned and had to make a new account and
That's
then switch
insane.
on the 18 plus content so they wouldn't get it again. So technically speaking, all of us could have had our accounts banned.
Yeah. Can I also just say, I got offered to stream on Movember's channel when I was doing charity work for Movember, and then when they contacted me and said, right, we got spots available to go on the front page of Twitch. This is what you need to have your account set to. And me being me, I played Dead by Daylight, which is an 18 plus game. I was playing COD, I think at the time, which again was 18 plus.
18 plus, yeah.
And in the requirements, it told me to set my stream to everyone. It told me to turn off mature audiences thing. It told me to turn that off. So I contacted the rep and I was like, yo, I'm playing games which are 18 plus, but you've told me to turn off the mature thing for it. I'm a bit conflicted. Like, I don't particularly want to be streaming it like that. But essentially, in a nutshell, they were like, turn it off. It'll be fine. Twitch requires you to have the mature audiences thing off to be on the front page anyway, regardless of what you're streaming. And it doesn't really matter if you're streaming that game, regardless if there's plus it gets you more views essentially.
Yeah, that's why they want it off, because they want you on the front page, so it gets attention.
So it gets attention, you get more viewers, and it doesn't matter what game you stream. So we could be streaming an 18 plus rated game without the mature filter on, and it would apparently be fine. But then if somebody comes in chat and says, well, I'm young and I'm watching this, it's fine. But then if you say a bad word, then you get banned. It doesn't make sense. Like the entire way that Twitch is sort of like
the same way though. Like, what is it? You got to be 13 to stream on Twitch, isn't it?
You got to be 13 to have an account.
13 to have an account, yeah. And if you're under that, your account will get instantly banned.
Apparently, children aren't allowed to stream.
No, if you're under 13 and you're caught streaming, it's an instant ban.
I thought it was under 16.
13.
Like 13 for the account, but I could be wrong though.
That's what I'm saying. But like,
because
even
children
if you take
apparently,
even if you take it to 16, what if you got a 16-year-old COD streamer? They're playing a game that they're 2 years too young for.
The thing that I've never understood is they can stream as long as they're over 13, but we've had competitive tournament players for games like Fortnite that are under 13 that are allowed to stream. That's always been something that's been weird for me.
Yeah, same. And there was this time where I didn't realize this at the time because I used to stream with my daughter on a separate channel, and there was I saw it a couple of months ago actually. There was this guy that streamed with his daughter, and well, he was streaming and she was in the background essentially. He wasn't necessarily streaming with her, but she was just like in the video feed, if that makes sense. And because she was like 8 or 9, he got banned. Like, she wasn't doing anything or interacting with the stream in any way, shape, or form. She was just in her house doing what she would do in her house, like playing with the toys or whatever. And that guy got banned because a child of like 8 or 9 or whatever was on the camera, and whoever was in the stream reported it for him. Twitch looked at it, said, yeah, like she shouldn't be streaming kind of thing, and then banned him. Like, it's a load of bollocks. It's stupid.
It happened to a friend of mine. So his son was very much like watching him stream for a long time and was like, that's something I would love to do. So for his birthday, when he was like, I think he was 10, I want to say he was 10, he allowed him to play a game on stream while he sat next to him for his birthday. to sort of get like the experience of being a streamer, but without being a streamer, sort of thing. And his whole account got banned. He had to restart again.
It's honestly just ridiculous.
It really is.
And he was like, this
like I
isn't
said,
a kid streaming on his own. Like I'm sat next to him the whole time on camera. You can see he was never left alone. There was moderators in the channel. I was in the channel as a moderator to control any content that would have come through in messages, anything like that. Like the stream was fully under control.
It's honestly just stuff like you said. Going back to gambling, people will find a way to see that content and gamble themselves. Like there's always going to be ways around it. So the only way to, if Twitch wanted to do something about it, keep the gambling, but have the valid ID or credit card. That's what they need to do. And the same with the suggestive content. If they really wanted to capitalize and make money off of Twitch, just allow the nudity and the crap on OnlyFans and whatever. I say crap. I don't mean it like any crap. Like, just, like I've seen loads of weird stuff that people just post on OnlyFans. I'm one of those people. Like I post dog pictures for God's sake on there just for shits and giggles. I don't even use it anymore. I've stopped posting because I wanted people's subs to expire. But yeah, I was just posting. I just used it for dog pictures. So like everything that they want to do on OnlyFans nudity wise, the way that the hot tub streams I've seen some clips of go, and some of the streamers, it's like that girl the other day having sex on stream. Well, I said the other day, it was like a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
It was talked about on one of the other podcasts, I think.
Yeah, it was one of the podcasts that we talked about. She was having sex on stream, and then she got banned because you could see a reflection of the movement, but you couldn't actually see anything. You wouldn't be able to see us in Miami zoom and enhance and see what was going on. Like
No,
the movements and everything there, but
what was going on.
Yeah, like the two pump chump just got it in, got it out, and then it was done. But it was like, if you're gonna make that, if you want to make that content, put it up on fans or needs a credit card or ID, and then give Twitch that ability, because the amount of people that would make so much more money from Twitch, and Twitch would make loads. Like they wouldn't need to do anything to
be
like
fair,
stop it.
It is one thing that YouTube's done a lot better than Twitch is the age restricted stuff.
Yeah,
like me and my girlfriend were just trying to watch. The channel's Dead Meat. It's basically, it goes over the kills in horror movies. So like your Saw movies, your Jason ones. We couldn't even watch half of them on the TV we were in the hotel because we weren't even logged in. It wouldn't even let us attempt to watch it. Yeah. We had to log in on our phone and then stream it to the TV because we didn't want to put our details on the TV and forget about it, kind of thing. Like that was effectively what it came down to. But it refused point blank to let us watch anything that it thought was 18 plus.
Yeah, you have to sign in or make an account and like then age verify your account and stuff. So I know because I was actually it was like 3 months ago maybe. I was watching something downstairs and then I switched to another suggested video, and then it said this video is age restricted. I was like, what the fuck? I've had this account for years. Like it shouldn't be age restricted. So I had to go on my computer, put my credit card details on because that was the fastest, and I put my card details in, and because like the way my bank works, it shows me the pending transaction, so I could instantly verify it rather than waiting a few days. But it was a full-on wall. I couldn't even preview the video a little bit. Like it was fully age restricted until I verified. You
don't even get the thumbnail on the video either. No. It just goes fully black and says it's age restricted.
Yeah, black screen, and it says this video is age restricted. And it's like go back or sign in if you're not signed in or whatever. So yeah, like there's a lot of things that YouTube do a lot better than Twitch. But then obviously there's a lot of things Twitch do better than YouTube. But YouTube lately is making massive strides in regards to the live streaming ways, because they've got gifted memberships and everything now. They're doing a lot of really, really good things. I think there's some things that they need to tweak and to like little things that would enhance the experience and discoverability on YouTube Live. Just off the top of the head is like, whenever you go live, in every single one of your videos, regardless whether it's shorts, whether it's like normal videos or whatever, if somebody's watching your video, you know the little eye icon at the top corner that people put in as cards or something?
Hmm.
There should be like a full-on banner across the top saying, like, for example, King Crazy is live now. Click here to watch. Like automatically on every single video. Like if you're live, obviously they're receiving your live stream signal, then
Yeah,
in
that would be
like a
good.
YouTube thing, it will be like a little banner to say, oh, this person's live. Click here to watch them now. And then if they do get to the end of the video, it would like show maybe, I don't know, like a preview. You know when people do those, oh, watch this video next kind of thing. In one of those boxes, it would
It
actually
could just go
show.
straight to the live stream.
Or it could do that, yeah. Like because the autoplay feature, it does that. But it could show like a little thumbnail and a preview, kind of like, you know, when you're scrolling through Twitch and you see the thumbnails of people's streams, kind of like that, but on the end of your video as well as that banner to go there. So the advertising for people watching your content, they obviously, if they've made it that far as well, they're obviously liking your content, so they're going to want to see more. So by promoting it across all of your videos, you could have like 5,000 videos, and like like if you got that many videos, you got a lot of viewers anyway. But what's the chances even 100 people or 50 people across 5,000 videos are going to click on that and come to your live stream? Like something like that for discoverability for YouTube, just something simple would be massive. And the thing is with Twitch, they don't have any VOD service like YouTube has that increases discoverability. Like
If Google was to do something like that, I think people would move from Twitch to Google. To YouTube, sorry.
No, I know what you mean. I think there's a lot of them moving as it is.
Oh yeah.
I want to get on to making more content for YouTube, if I'm honest, because like I've been meaning to do it for a while, but my editor's disappeared. I'm not sure where he's gone.
Don't know. He hasn't said anything for the last few minutes.
Have you heard of him at all? Or?
I haven't. No, last time I saw, he made a couple of shorts for someone else.
Oh man,
he's cheating on me. But apart from that,
right.
I've been nothing.
To start off with, you. Yes, I've made sure.
Come on, excuses, Andy. Come on.
No, right. I've specifically been given clips and asked to make shorts of them. You have never given me a specific clip and said, "Can you turn that into a TikTok or a short?"
You just make them for me.
Yeah, I don't. The only one I've done for links like that was the first one, and last night I done one.
It's terrible. Just terrible.
Right, yeah, give me clips and ask me to make TikToks out of them, and I can do them. But given the nature of my work at the moment, I am not in your streams very often. I don't know when clips are made. I don't know the context for a lot of clips.
You make your own context, let's be honest.
I can do, yeah.
Plus, what was it that you just said when we were watching the chili video that you were going to clip real quick?
Oh, that was when I said I took a load in the mouth or something. That was that was on the podcast.
Yeah, King out of context. I love King out of context. It's great. But I haven't got the time to go and find the funny moments that like with the TikToks I used to make for you. A lot of the times they were clips that I had clipped while watching your stream, knowing full well what I could do with them later.
But I've made you an editor on my channel so you can see all the clips and stuff.
Yeah, but I haven't got time to go through the clips, considering like sometimes some of the clips.
To be fair, there's not that many named. Because I haven't been streaming that much. There's not that many videos.
Before we have a domestic, shall we move on?
No, it is what it is. Like I'm starting to get a bit more time now, and hopefully, I've been informed today that given a meeting going well tomorrow for me, I should be working from home from Monday.
Well, that sounds good, doesn't it?
Which will mean I lose like 2 hours a day off traveling for work.
And the rest, Jesus.
I mean, the rest.
Like you was in there. You was in the
Oh yeah, the car park situation.
Over an hour, dude.
Yeah, that took me an hour and 20 minutes to get out of the car park, and then a further 20 minutes just to get home.
I'd be fucking charging them for that.
I was not happy, but the car park isn't theirs. They hired spaces from the local car park. We did have an email about it, and they've put a complaint in, which basically translates to they've told the car park that they use that if they don't fuck their ideas up and sort it out so it doesn't happen again, that they'll look to hire spaces in a different car park instead. But yeah, I should gain a lot of time back from being able to work from home, which I can then translate into making more videos.
Very nice.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I
There was
still need you to provide me the clip. You
There's
still
clips
need
there, dude.
Bruh.
Bruh.
You say there's clips there, right? I turned around and I was like, oh, if you give me clips, I'll try and do some when I got time. And you were like, there's 15 in a folder. I've already done 14 of them though. I'm like, you've never told me this. You've just put clips in a folder with no notification whatsoever. Like, oh, I really fancy some cookies. Oh, there's some in the jar. I've ate 15 out of the 16 of them, but they've been in there for like a week.
You're causing a domestic now, Ryan. You're making yourself look like a fool.
No.
I literally downloaded the clips that literally 10 minutes before we were talking about it, and then I just edited them because essentially I just wanted to slap them all out, and because I wanted to try something. If I'm honest, I wanted to try to see if I could make a template or make editing the things easier, and I have. I've streamlined the entire process, so all of those clips maybe took me 60 seconds, if that, to edit and put together. And I'm not even kidding, because essentially what I did, because I've got my new camera layout, I wanted to see if this would work, because it's going to stay like that now. And essentially I just make a duplicate my video layer twice, and then I've adjusted the cameras and everything of each layer, saved it as a preset, so then all I have to do is, for example, the background layer, drag and drop the preset onto it. The game layer, drag and drop the preset. Face cam, drag and drop the preset. And it moves everything and blurs everything and does everything that I need it to within seconds. And all I need to do then is just press Control and M to add it to the queue to render, and then onto the next one. And it took me seconds to do. It was pretty awesome, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that particular thing is just saving so much more time. And then I edit them all together, and I've signed into YouTube on my Premiere Pro, so then it automatically uploads it to YouTube. So then all I need to do then is just upload the other file to TikTok or Instagram or whatever I do. So the entire process is, I've just streamlined it like super well.
Well, you'll have to assist me on that, or just send me the preset. But yeah.
I don't know if you've got the same version of Premiere Pro than me. I don't think you have.
Probably not. I may have to.
I've got the latest one.
How much is it? Is a yearly cost? Is it?
No, it's monthly. It is a bit expensive, to be fair. DaVinci Resolve is free, and apparently that's really good. I was going to make the switch to it, but then I realized I pay for Adobe because I do it for my other job. So I get my money's worth out of it that way anyway. And plus, obviously, it goes in expenses against tax and stuff.
Yeah.
So
we'll see how it goes, because if I've got more time to make videos, I'd like to do it for more for yourself and other people as well, be it if you want clips done, links, etc.
So I have the entire suite because I've got Photoshop, I've got all of it, and all of it I think is about 50 quid a month.
So I'd probably look at just getting Photoshop and Premiere Pro.
Yeah, you'd want Photoshop and Premiere Pro. So I think Photoshop might be like £10 a month, and then Photoshop will be the same thing.
Yeah,
it doesn't actually bloody tell me. It just says like start a free trial. It doesn't say how much it actually is a month after that. But I think
have a look, because we had an email in work where I think we can get possibly get discounts on an Adobe package with my work.
That'd be cool if you could.
Yeah, it's quite cool because we've got like a fun committee that like take charge of like having office games and games between the teams and stuff like that to like boost morale. And they've wanted to like put videos together of like highlights from things happening and stuff like they done one where it was like a singing challenge, where they had to sing a song, but the lyrics were changed, and they had to like recognize the song based off the tune.
Right. Okay.
So they were trying to like get all the clips of people singing and put them together into a video. And the person that was doing it, well, for this, that challenge was done when I started my training back in May, and he still hasn't finished doing the video.
Well, he's still doing it faster than you do my stuff.
Listen, once I actually sit down to do your stuff, I do it.
Dude, you spent more time talking to the other person in the call with you, watching you edit the videos than editing the videos.
I didn't at all. I was always good at making your videos.
Yeah, you was good at making them. I was over the moon with them. They were brilliant. It saved me loads of time as well, so I appreciate it.
And I also roasted you in a lot of them, which was great.
Honestly, I think it made me laugh more than it made me hungry. It's like the Bruce Almighty one. But yeah, it's great. Like I don't mind editing my stuff lately. Like when I did, to be fair, it took me 10, 15 minutes anyway. So I just need to make longer content for YouTube more than anything. Even if it's just like going through my Twitch VODs and getting a really good match or something. But it's just difficult because in the moment I don't think about it.
I was watching someone talk about it, and they were saying about like, particularly with Dead by Daylight, the difference between like content creating as a survivor versus content creating as a killer. Like a killer, you could take a whole match and play the whole match, and 90% of the match, something is going to be happening. And there's going to be a 10% of the match that might be that little bit of downtime of like reloading hatchet, breaking a couple of pallets, doing that little sort of housekeeping after hooking someone, so to speak, or looking for the survivor for a chase. But 90% of it, something is going to be happening. You're going to be chasing someone, mind gaming, etc., etc. Whereas the survivor main, like you could go the whole match just doing gens and not interacting with the killer, unless you force
you
it.
could quite easily just put on Bond and open-handed and just watch someone else run the killer, because that can be just as entertaining.
Yeah, as I said, there's ways around it, but it's also like, as a survivor main, you need to sort of force the content a little bit more than you do as killer.
Yeah.
Like what, for example, holding people.
Yeah. Like, speaking of which, like JRM, like he does the whole like whole killer, blah blah blah. But like he done a series, the value series, where he's gone through all the perks and is trying to get value out of each perk. But in doing so, he is playing hours and hours on stream to create a 10-minute video to get 1 or 2, maybe 3 games where he gets the thing that he's trying to do work once, maybe twice, if that at all. Which,
but
when you watch
that
the
type of
10-minute
content,
video, is brilliant.
Yeah, but that type of content though, it's kind of like after if that's the only content that you put out, it's kind of like the vault speed build. How many times have you seen the vault speed build?
That was the interesting thing for me for the value series though, was it was always something different. So like I think one was the deception value. So it wasn't just, oh, run past the locker, use deception, get the killer to open it, ha ha, funny. Like he set the whole challenge of getting them to open the locker that he deceptioned, and then hitting them with head on out of another locker, then fast vaulting into a locker without deception to get them to check the other locker, thinking they were about to get head on from the other locker, to then get head on from the locker that they fast vaulted into. So that was quite an interesting one to watch, because it was a lot of like thought and planning that actually went into it, and it was quite a difficult thing to pull off, because you rely a lot on the killer to, one, be smart enough, that's dumb enough to fall for it, but smart enough to not repeatedly fall for the same thing.
Yeah.
Because I think,
like a lot of things like that can seem scripted as well.
yeah, but like one game, I think it was with a bubba, and he deceptioned the locker and got the head on, and then when he went back around again to get the second one, where he fast vaulted into the locker and then got them to check the locker that didn't have the notification, and then hit the head on, and the bubba just done Bubba things, walked straight in, grabbed him straight out the locker, like it was nobody's business. Like he just didn't learn from the original deception. So it was like, fuck's sake.
Yeah. Like things like that is funny, but it does like sort of weigh down then. Like if it happens every single time from that person, then it's like, oh, right, it's happened this amount of times.
Mm.
It's either like that person is like incredibly boring and it's like not funny anymore. It gets old quick, or it's like this shit has to be scripted. But you just gotta, I don't know. It's different. I'm with Ash. It is more difficult as a survivor to make content.
I will
Unless you
also say as well,
run like Bond and stuff, and like you said, like something different happens. Like if you can see with Bond someone's silhouette disappearing, and then all of a sudden you see that it reappearing, jumping out of a locker, and you stunned a killer. Like that would be much funnier than like, I don't know, or like more entertaining rather than 360 in a killer to a pallet drop or something like that. You know what I mean. But like, because it's not just you clowning on the killer. Like
Yeah.
JRM could like hole, I don't know, a killer in the game, and then as he holds him, Aaron could come just head on him out of the locker and stun him. That would be fucking fantastic. Something like that. But if you've seen it with Bond and they set it up purposefully for that and they got it, it'd be 1 in a million shot. But it would be fantastic. Like something like that would be hilarious because it's not the same thing over and over again. It's not, oh, it's another hole. It's another
I
hole.
liked it. Ott's done a video like it, which was really, really, really entertaining. It was back when Hawkins was still around. So he was trying to like pull off, and it was literally saying like pure survivor flex moves. So one was the the Batman save where you drop down the hole in Hawkins from the top floor to land and get the flashlight save.
Oh, I've done that one.
So that was one of them. I think he done that with Aaron. He done one which was really interesting with Lucky Break and For the People. So the plan was for the person. So do you know you drop down, you go through the funnel, and you come out in the room by the ice room.
Yeah.
So the plan was to get hit to you, so you go down as you vaulted. So the killer then has to like finish the swing animation and then vault down before they would see what happened. And Otts was waiting underneath to use For the People to get them instantly back up, but they'd be both injured, so would have Lucky Break and Iron Will and run and hide in the corner. So to the killer's point of view, they've hit someone, downed them, gone down the vault, and this person has got up and disappeared with no scratch marks. So that
I
was
do
like
remember them trying to get that for ages.
Yeah, that was when they tried to do for age, but it was really cool because he was like trying to do all these just like weird and really random things that you would never think of doing, and they take so much to set up. But it's interesting. As I say, it's difficult, and like to produce Survivor content, you have to be playing Survivor for hours and hours and hours on it.
That's why I say it is a lot easier to produce YouTube content. Sorry, whilst you're streaming on Twitch. Anyway, when I was trying to do videos specific for YouTube, it would take me like a dozen or so matches before I found one that was like sort of okay. And obviously, you have to record and speak for each and every single one of them. It just gets tiring at a point.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're on Twitch, at least you just spaff on for 12 hours.
It's why like you see with Otts does a lot of his YouTube videos on stream, and he'll literally like say to chat like, right, I'm gonna start the video, and then he'll do like the intro for the video on Twitch, and you can see his Twitch chat going, hello YouTube, hello YouTube, hello YouTube, like blah de blah. But it also makes it one easier and time saving, but it also means that like you could spend the whole stream going, I've got this build and this idea that I want to showcase. I'm going to play it on stream all day until I get it to work or until I get a couple of good games. And then once you've got the good games, you could sort of be like, right, I'm going to play Survivor for a little bit now, knowing full well you've got the content you need for your video just to go back later, pull it out and put it together.
Also, slight topic change. But have you seen the trailer for the Super Mario's movie?
I haven't. I've seen some screenshots and it looks incredible.
Yeah, I haven't either. But Chris Pratt is
he's playing Mario
He's playing Mario. Yeah.
Yeah.
My daughter told me. She came over and like, yo, check this out.
Bowser.
And I was like, oh shit, hello.
Isn't he playing like Hercules or something in a film soon? I'm sure he was
Chris
put
Pratt.
forward. Was he put forward for Hercules live action remake for Disney?
Which one?
Chris
Pratt or Jack Black?
Chris Pratt.
Probably.
I don't see Jack Black as Hercules.
I mean, he could.
I don't think he'd be Hercules because isn't Hercules in Love and Thunder at the end of Love and Thunder?
Different Hercules.
No, I mean it's different Hercules.
Not MCU Hercules, like like the cartoon Hercules that Disney made years ago, and now they're like redoing all their old cartoons in live action remakes.
But no, I watched the trailer while you were talking about recording and doing clips and whatnot. And it looks really good. Like Bowser actually looks insanely good.
Yeah, I seen the screenshot of Bowser.
I'm confused. Didn't Dwayne Johnson play Hercules already?
It's an old film, but yeah, he's played a version of Hercules. Yeah.
All right, I wasn't dreaming things then.
Yeah, he had hair.
Yeah, this is a wig, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Right, let's have
a look. This looks a lot better than the very first look we got at Sonic. They've done good with this one.
Somebody's just photoshopped this. There you go. There's Chris Pratt Hercules.
I could see Chris Pratt probably running for a role for Hercules. He's playing a lot of different heroes.
I don't think he'd be able to get big enough. Or vascular.
It depends on how big they want their Hercules.
Can't say. I could still quite easily play it.
Yeah, I'm watching that just now. Like Bowser looks
like a
badass,
so
dude.
I'm so hyped to watch this in cinema.
When is it? 2023?
Yeah, April. Sometime in April.
Podcast meeting.
Dude, Jack Black suits Bowser down.
Jack Black does suit like his original role when he's like shouting is really, it fits. They've done the casting for this really well.
Yeah.
And even have toured in as whatnot. So I don't know what's up with the penguin. Don't know who's voicing the penguin. But no, it looks really, really good.
Yo, that looks sick. It's kind of like an evil Kung Fu Panda vibe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, and it's brilliant. Like Jack Black is,
he's nailed that role.
Yeah, like I can't wait to see that. I've seen this. I'm like, dude, can we hurry up into 2023?
I just looking at the Discord messages, and I know obviously links popped up earlier saying
that he has no idea what's going on now. He's got all this shit.
But I just love the fact that like Kev's posted watch age restricted videos, and the next thing is a fucking link to the official Mario teaser trailer and a picture of Chris Pratt as Hercules and Bowser.
Jesus.
Like, I'd love for him to listen to this episode of the podcast and start next week by giving us an honest review of what he thought we talked about just from the message.
Yeah, we definitely need to do that next week.
100%.
Like, give us a rundown of exactly what you thought we were talking. The thing is, though, we've got all of that like stuff that we were talking about off stream.
Yeah.
And the fact, dude, you've got pictures.
There's one of Ryan. I don't know if he's actually seen one of Ryan before.
Yeah. There's pictures of like the haunt. Oh, we haven't. Did we talk about the Dead by Daylight stuff? We haven't, did we?
The event.
Yeah.
Nah, we went on a massive fucking tangent, man. That was meant to be the first thing we talked about.
Yeah. I did say we were going to talk about it immediately, so you didn't forget it after watching the trailer.
You did.
But we didn't talk about it, did we?
No, because I said something and you took it off on a massive tangent, and we just didn't stop.
Yo, that's what I do. I'm a talker. What can I say?
He's got lethal pursuit mind.
Yeah.
So remember, Kev, when I said, we're not going to talk about, or we're not going to start the podcast in a minute because you'll go off on a massive tangent. It's gone the other way around now. We've actually started the stream and you've gone off on another massive tangent.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Like this is the thing though, isn't it? We can't. This is why it works so well.
Yeah.
Is because one of us, probably more often than not me, will go off on a massive tangent, and like we just spiral. It's good because it's not scripted. and it's not like we've got a general consensus of what we want to talk about, and then things like with
we've literally touched on one of them, and it's been about 2 hours.
No, we done 2.
We did the one chip challenge thing.
Oh,
one
sorry, I
chip
didn't
the
see one
viral.
chip challenge at the bottom.
We did the
But
gambling
we haven't
thing.
done the middle one.
Yeah, we
I
can
wasn't
say
so
that.
fussed on talking about that. I think we did brush on it maybe
No, we
on a
didn't.
previous one.
We've
Because
talked about
those leaks, the Rockstar leaks have been out for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was the reason I had that as a subject was I was very curious on people's opinions on leaks coming out from companies. Like the
Right,
rate.
so hang on, before we go on to that, should we go back to the Dead by Daylight stuff before we
Yeah.
forget about that for
Yes.
another 2 hours,
Yes.
and then come back to
Before
Rockstar?
that. Right, before that, okay, I got something else to talk about. So with Aaron, no, it's going back to what we're talking about. So Aaron coming into the conversation. So we've got Giraffix Evolution. I can't remember what it's called. Farafarig, yeah. I didn't want to butcher the name. So we've got a Farafarig, then we've got the Dead by Daylight thing, then we got more Pokemon stuff. Then we've got Gigantamax Wiglet. And then we've got like
Actual
Lord Farquaad and like the kid of Chucky, and then we got other pictures, then Cristiano Ronaldo, then Ryan, then
We're not going to say what that is. We're going to move on.
we
keep going. There's a picture of
Hezbollah. We got Hezbollah just like staring at you judgingly, and then we got Ghost Arcade's epic rendition of like a ghosty cosplay, and then we've got cement buckets and like some of the stuff we're talking about, like Gussie and age restricted videos, and then Mario, Chris Pratt, and Bowser. Like it's kind of weird, and I would love to. Like, I wanted to give an audio representation of what is in this group chat right now. It's just fucking carnage. So
one of the podcasts I listened to, the one I've mentioned to you quite a few times, Kev, they've got a guy that does Next Time On, and he does it at the end. So they put it at the end of each podcast. But he does that based on what's in their Discord chat. He doesn't. He has no clue what they've talked about in the next episode. He does it based on the Discord chat from during the episode recording.
Right. Okay.
So he just has a complete...
what Aaron would do.
This is why I wanted to know, because like some of the stuff he comes out is absolutely brilliant, and like once or twice he's been spot on for what they've talked about, and other times he's just been so far off. It's been hilarious.
But the thing is, though, you'd have to not watch the VOD.
Yeah,
you'd have to wait a week.
That was the thing with the one I watched. They like the episodes tend to be like a week or two ahead.
In advance.
So they can sort of like say, "Oh, here's the Discord chat for this episode. Can you record your next time on?" And then they put it at the end of the previous episode that they recorded before it's released.
What would be better? Unfortunately, it's not going to work for this week. Is if he was to be live tomorrow, we'd ask him on stream tomorrow, and then just tell him to highlight that section of what we think, and put that in. But obviously, he's not going to be streaming for the next.
We could just ask him. We could just ask him to type it in.
Yeah, we could do.
I was just
in
gonna
here, like we
suggest...
can
type what
like
right
tag
now.
him, say like he'll see it when he wakes up.
Yeah,
you could try.
Like, yo, Aaron, like based on what you can see, what do you think we talked about in this podcast?
He keeps popping on his mobile, so you could add him and see if he responds.
Like, you've just said that in the podcast. For him to have heard that part of the podcast, he'd have to have listened to the podcast or fast forward to that specific point.
But he's not going to be able to see it. He's not going to be able to listen to it now.
He texts it now and then see if he responds, or we can literally say it out loud.
No, I know. It's just the fact that he literally just went, "Aaron, what did we talk about on this podcast that you would have just listened to get to listen to me asking you about what happened in this podcast?"
No, I was saying what I was going to say in a message. I think.
I don't think you would.
I don't even know what
go with
it
anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Should we put some stuff on there to throw him off? So I just start uploading random pictures. Hang on, I got you. I've got some really random pictures. Go with this. That one.
Right, I've got the message ready. So tell me when
that one looks fun.
First, what the hell?
We'll go for a Fatalis just because I can.
Oh my god! I'm gonna put this picture of badly textured grass. She plays Final Fantasy, right? I've got this. This is her character from Final Fantasy.
All right, no. wait 5 minutes. Let's talk about the event, and then we'll send the
Yeah,
message.
we'll go
Otherwise,
back.
it's gonna look sus that we just posted a lot of pictures and then.
Right. So essentially, the Halloween event for um, Dead by Daylight is just like not just been released; it was released a few hours ago, and some of the cosmetics and everything look pretty sick, in my opinion. I do think that it looks pretty cool, but the one thing that I just wanted to brush on and talk about more than anything is the entire free weekend. Um, they've got like a free weekend starting, what was it, October 27th, I believe, where it's totally free. I don't know how across however many platforms, whether as in like Epic Games, Windows Store, Steam, whatever other platform that is on PC. And the reason why I say PC is because of the hackers situation. The fact that it's played with hackers at the moment is already a problem, especially more than anything for streamers, obviously, especially the bigger streamers. I just think it's just like with an event, is hackers are going to be rife enough, but with an event like this, as well as a free weekend, I think it's just going to make the entire situation worse, regardless of the fact that they've said that they've got all these anti-cheat methods in place. Because like they can bypass Valve's anti-cheat because of Epic Games. I had a hacker in my stream that not only hacked my game, they botted me on Twitch and across all my other social medias for followers and this, that, and the other. And it was in the tens of, well, I think I had about 50 or 60,000 followers in that stream just from that one person. And that was just on Twitch. I had another 10 to 20,000 on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, just everywhere. It was just constantly botted. So, and that was just one hacker. They could see they had an entire Discord, and they even told me that it was easier to hack on Epic Games because there's less anti-cheat software and there's less things to go through and stuff. And it's just like super easy to get a new Epic account with Dead by Daylight already on it. So, given it a free weekend, I think it's going to be Hacker City, irrespective of the fact that they've updated the anti-cheat system. I think that's like a really bad thing, and I hope not. I hope to be proved wrong. I really do, being an optimist. But if there's more sort of like reports of hackers being in the game, unless it is a test to see if the anti-cheat system is working, or
It very
is
well
working as
could.
good.
They have rolled out some of the stuff already.
It'd be good. It'd be like if the anti-cheat works, I'd be happy and I'd have a little bit more faith in them. But
I would
I'm a
love
bit
to see a
skeptical.
tweet on like the Monday after the weekend of them going, after the free weekend, using our new software, we actually banned 75,000 cheaters over the weekend alone, or whatever it may be. Like, if we get a sort of indication that it was used during that weekend and it worked. My other question is,
Yeah, I saw that used online.
so
I saw the icon. Sorry, Ryan. Sorry,
no,
bud.
so my question really with it is it you can make, like, you can download and buy DVD for free for that weekend and then you own it, or is it going to be that you can play it on an account for that weekend, and then once the weekend is over, you won't be able to then access that account without buying the full game?
It's pretty much what they do. It's a trial. Essentially, what happens? They make Steam makes it free. It gives it like a temporary license, and then it revokes the license.
No, but like when it was released on Epic Games, the part of the reason the hackers jumped on it so much as well was you could make multiple accounts and download multiple amounts of free copies of Dead by Daylight that are still active now. Like they've got loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of accounts on Epic because of that free giveaway of Dead by Daylight. It didn't expire after Epic Games' initial free release, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if that's the case and it only lasts for that weekend, then it shouldn't. It'll likely increase the amount of hackers for that weekend. But then going on, I think it wouldn't create that much more of a problem because unless they buy the game after that, they're not going to be able to use those free accounts that they've then made to continue to hack the game afterwards.
Well, if they've hacked it then and their system works, then they're going to get banned. So they're not going to be able to use that anyway.
Yeah, but if the system was to fail, then they would have you were able to keep that free account, then you would have another 10 to 20, 30,000 free Dead by Daylight accounts ready to be used by hackers each time their current account gets banned.
I'm just, although what you say is good and stuff, and I'm just still skeptical because it's behavior.
I'm very skeptical. I'm curious more of the damage it's going to cause. Is it going to be short-term damage over the weekend, or is it going to create a larger problem going forward because of all the free accounts that hackers could make?
I personally think that with the event, there's going to be a steady stream of hackers. Probably just a little more, whether or not they're going to be more blatant with it or more subtle. Because I've been in games where there's been subtle hacks, and it was only because I was playing and paying attention. Like I told you about that one game where I chased the Steve to one end of the map. I reloaded in the killer shack, and he was one side of the killer shack, like super far away on the edge of the wall. And by the time I reloaded and got out to killer shack, he'd already run all the way back to me, even though he was like 5 to 10 seconds away from me. He'd run all the way to me and to the person on the hook on the opposite side of the map that he was on, unhooking them. So that was obviously, like, it wasn't sprint burst or anything like that, because I'd already hit them and they'd been sprinting and whatever before, because they actually had life. But the like subtle speed hacks like that, it was only because I was paying attention, because I noticed they 2 or 3 of them did a switch at the start of the match. So I thought, right, okay, it's like Sabo squad or like Heal squad or whatever it was, they were together. I was paying attention more, and I was not sweating or tryharding, but I was just like paying more attention,
more aware of the situation.
Yeah,
that they were
more aware,
going to take the game seriously rather than just fucking about.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, how the fuck did he get there? And it was on a Steve as well. So either they've had that character or they've hacked it in or whatever, because the only way you can get it now really is by codes that people have bought and they're selling on for more expensive than what they were or whatever. But subtle hackers like that, they're harder to catch, but it's the obvious ones. I think it's going to be, because it's an event, there's obviously going to be more people, because it's going to bring more streamers back to Dead by Daylight so they can get the event stuff or showcase the event stuff and play it. Or Dead by Daylight is fun again because there's an event on, because there's always an influx of people playing it. It always boosts up like 20,000, 30,000 at peak times with events.
I'm very worried for hackers, because their biggest thing at the moment is showing off all the hacks in order to sell them to more people.
Yeah.
Now you've got a horror game during horror season with a big event on, with a hacking problem already in place.
So it's going to be a steady stream. I think there's going to be more hackers. It's not going to, it might not be like super obvious, but there's going to be more reports of hackers. But then on the free weekend, I think there's going to be a massive influx of hackers. Maybe people that have got the hacks or wanted to get the hacks but didn't want to get their main account banned. Yeah. So on the free weekend, they've made a new account, got those hacks or paid for them or whatever, how they get them or whatever, just to use the hacks for that free weekend. And there's going to be a massive influx on that, like 2-3 days that is free. I think that's what's going to happen.
I do see the subtle ones being used a lot more. We actually had a Wraith as a killer in one of Aaron's subathon streams that me and Aaron both called out either brutal and or fire up almost instantly. Like, it was noticeably quick that the dude in cloak had broken a pallet quickly. I actually went so far to say he had a Shadow Dance offering as well.
Yes, Aaron took the piss out of you for suggesting those perks and stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, and then totally Chase even called fire up because he mistimed his flashbang, like, so off that it was like, oh, it's fire up. And at the end of the game, didn't have any of it. No Shadow Dance, which he easily had.
No
no
showers, no
brutal, no
smoke,
fire
fire
up, which
rest.
he easily had, and like we were like, yeah, no, you were sus, like
Yeah.
1000%, you had some great hack
Mm.
because it takes for two people to call out a kicking add-on or perk, of which we thought he had 2 of, and then an add-on on top of, and then someone else to notice a pickup speed increase, and for you not to have any of that at the end, kind of says something.
Yeah, I remember I was there. Like
Yeah.
I remember seeing it, and like because he even laughed and like called you and like called you out for being a dick or an idiot or whatever, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember you guys
It
talking
wasn't
like on
Aaron,
nice hacks
it
or
was
something.
Chase. It was
I was
Chase
Chase,
that
was
was
it? Oh,
laughing,
sorry, my mistake.
and that's
My
when we
mistake.
made the point saying he literally called fire up
Yeah.
seconds before that match ended.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I mean. Like there's was one in Chase's match after he got off playing with Link in a subathon, played a Huntress game, and he was saying he was like, "Oh, I've got a hacker in the game," so I was expecting for him to see like being held hostage or some weird shit to be happening, but it was just this Ada that kept like running over to him and like waving her hand to like get him to get him to chase her, and I was like, okay, it doesn't really make sense. Like, what has she done to make you think that she's the hacker? Said, oh, she keeps like trying to get me to like chase her close to where lockers are. I think trying to get like the head on stun, the infinite stun.
mm.
Um, so Chase being Chase is clever and a good killer. So he would always cutting it wide on loops, but he was really struggling to down her because of the fact that he was having to take loops wider to avoid lockers in case he's going to get head on stun. To the point where it went on for so long that this Ada ended up basically doing the whole million-mile-an-hour skirt around the map, blatantly showing off the cheats because it was very much like, oh, this person's not playing the game. He's not going to let me stun him. So I'm just going to show off that I am actually hacking now.
Because that's the thing. They do like the million sort of hour stun, don't they? Because I saw it in Aaron's stream the other day.
But like it was only because Chase caught on to her
I got
behavior at the
hit
start of
with
the
2
game.
of them.
Like I'm lucky enough not to have like had the head on one. Like, and I'm glad because it's just infuriating. It's annoying as hell.
Like behavior have made some good steps towards dealing with it in terms of even so the match used to time out after 2 hours. They've reduced that to 1 hour now, which I still think is a bit excessive for a game of DBD. But
No, some of them can get close to that. I've had a few.
yeah, I get that, but at that point, it's sort of like, come on.
The killers probably.
Yeah.
But even then, like the survivors can slowly. It's just a very like
Yeah.
a good example of that is Doctor with like
No,
Sniper Doc. You
yeah.
can slowly get the gens up. It
Yeah.
takes ages.
That's the thing is no, but like at that point, who really wants to be playing DBD for that long for a single match? So, but like
I
that,
struggle to play it for an hour normally.
that's a massively good step in the right direction in terms of that. I know they made other changes as well. I can't remember exactly what they are, but I just know that was one of the main things that stuck out to me.
What they should do. Sorry, Ryan. You know the crow situation where they put 3 crows and they start blowing up after a while. They should do exactly the same thing, but after you've got 3 crows and it's done the first like explosion to notify the killer or whatever. Like if the killers get crows, I can't remember.
No.
Right. If they just have a timer then of inactivity. So if the same timer for survivors to get 3 crows and then the first blast, put that on the killer as well. If there's no survivor movement or no killer movement for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, end the game. That's all they need to do.
The issue with that is that they would literally just code hacks that allow you to drop whoever it is from a height. Wouldn't be that difficult. Either get if you're like a hacker, you're a survivor and you're hacking, you get under the killer and just go up and lift the killer up because you haven't got collision. That'll then move the killer, or vice versa. The killer just moves the survivor, and that just counteracts that.
There's too many ways around it.
they will literally find a way around it. It doesn't matter how you do it. There should be some way of just saying there is a hacker in my game.
There's a hacker, get me out of here.
That's what they need.
But then if someone's losing the games for like the Moshin Nurse, for example, what's stopping them from pressing escape? There's a hacker in my game, and then it cuts it.
It doesn't necessarily have to cut it. It just gets someone to come and have a look. And then if there isn't a hacker, then
it would be like I'd like to employ the boy cried wolf scenario to that though.
Well, there is that as well. Yeah.
No, but like if you were to like say you go into this game, and you're like, "There's a hacker in my game. He's trying to hold me hostage. Can you get me out?" And for them to then come and look and go, "Okay, yeah, that is a hacker. We'll get you out. Happy days." But if you do that and it's not a hacker, then you get like a strike. And if you get X amount of strikes against you for claiming hackers all the time, that
they'll just ignore you.
Yeah, like your response then gets delayed. So it's like, no, you wait out the timer now. You've tried hackers so many times that you clearly just don't know what DBD is. Like the amount of times so I like watch a lot of Benjo shorts. He does a lot of like Mad Grit shorts, and people call him out for hacking for using Mad Grit because you just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not hacking. Like, but people would cry hacker. And it's at that point then that people need to either then, instead of being butthurt and crying over a game and like crying hacker and wasting people's time who are trying to deal with hackers as a genuine issue, to then go, actually, it's a perk. Read the perks before you call hacker.
To be fair, the first time I ever saw Mad Grit, I genuinely thought he was hacking.
Well, it was the same thing when I started using Darkness Lethal Pursuer. The amount of times where people were like, "Oh, well, how did you know I was there? I wasn't near a locker." And well, you were 2 seconds ago, and Lethal Pursuer adds 2 seconds on. Like I can quite clearly see you, but you can't portray that to them, and they're not going to grasp it because they don't know how close they were to it.
And if they don't play killer, and they have even less understanding, as well.
That's the thing that always baffled me with survivors. They're like, oh, I don't play killer. I don't know killer perks. I'm like, if you don't play killer, you should know all killer perks. Like, you want to know everything so you can call out the shit that is going to catch you off guard.
Exactly. Earlier, I was in Aaron's stream, and like the Wesker had Bamboozle, I think it was. I got tunneled in pretty much every single game. Like full on tunnels. Like first, like there was the Wesker game, he tunneled me off instantly, and he was like super salty, and he was being a real dick as well. He said, "Oh well, that's what you get for bringing RPD," kind of thing. And I didn't even bring RPD. He was just one of those guys who just entitled, essentially. But because I didn't, he had Brain Res, I think, Bamboozle and something else or another, and I wasn't in comms with him, so I typed it, and it was just things like, if I didn't know, there was another one with like Blood Favor, like those sort of perks like that, unless you know the name of, like for example, if Aaron went in a chase without me telling him he was Bamboozle, he vaulted, the killer vaulted, and he went back around to vault again, not seeing that he got over with Bamboozle. He's like, oh shit, he's gone Bamboozle. Like, as a survivor, knowing those perks, like you said, it's even if you don't play survivor,
even to the point of like identifying Bitter Murmur, knowing that a killer's got Bitter Murmur, and knows that if you finish a gen, there's no point in hiding nearby. You may as well just book it.
Well, there's a flip side.
Lethal Pursuer. Yeah, that's the one. Because Aaron was running, sorry, guys, but Aaron was running Distortion, I think it was. So he had a token or something taken away, or whatever it does, because the Wesker had Lethal Pursuer, and he instantly called that out. Because he could see that he had Lethal Pursuer. So we knew to watch out for the killer coming our way pretty much instantly. So it's just things like that. If you sort of know the killer perks, and even if you don't play killer, if you learn about it, then, like you said, it's the difference in going down in the first 30 seconds, or with Bamboozle, is making a mistake, looping, for example, Killer Shack another time, even when the Shack pallet's gone. The window's blocked, you're guaranteed to get hit, so why not try to go to another loop with a different pallet or a window or something? Like,
There's also the flip side of that is when you see something that you think is a perk, and your Huntress is reloaded and it's significantly faster than the animation you know, and you then go, okay, so they have either the add-on or they have IMM,
Yeah.
and then in the game you don't see either, then you know something was off in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some pretty fast reload speeds when they've had nothing.
Yeah. And then you know, well, that person's a hacker, so how many other things that happened that match were actually perks they had didn't have.
Yeah.
And you know not bad about that game because chances are there was probably something more off with it than just the fact that they reloaded slightly quicker.
Yeah. The strangest thing about some games like that, though, is not all of the hackers, like, although they're subtle with it, they don't always get 4Ks or 3Ks or even 2.
No.
Sometimes, like, they're super just, like, either chill with it or they literally just testing the hacks to see if certain things work or they're buggy or whatever, or they're just, like, they really
I think
want to be
sometimes
obvious
it's
with
a
it.
case if they're trying to lower the MMR, so they go against people that don't understand. So they
Possibly. So they can
full on.
abuse it. Yeah, full on abuse it. Joke's on them. I haven't played Killer in months, so my MMR is going to be through the floor.
It's like what we're on about with the Wraith. He could have won that match if he was playing reasonable. He had strong perks. He had decent quote unquote add-ons. There was no reason that he would have lost that. I think he was running an Iri add-on.
Yeah,
Silent
he had
Bell.
the Silent Bell, yeah.
Like he should have won that match if he was that confident.
Yeah.
He had hacks on top of that. Like, why didn't you even get a kill? Like, it's questionable. There's a reason he didn't get a kill, and I don't think it was necessarily because he got outplayed.
No, I think it was more down to, like, I can use the hacks and have an easy game, but if they all leave, they're not going to cry hacker. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
most survivors, if they leave a game and they've won, they're just going to go, GG, see you later, or GG, easy, whatever. They're not looking at the perks to see why they lost. They're
It's
not
one of
looking
the
at the
first things
add-on.
I do out of every match is look at the perks and see if they match what I saw in the game, or just analyze how the game went.
I do
And
it
when
too because I also want to, like, even not so much from an analyzing point of view. I want to know why they picked the build that they did. Like,
yeah.
Well, that's still analyzing.
I
I
know,
get
but,
that.
like,
I think that through the match, but as soon as the match ends, I forget, and then I press continue. Oh shit! I wanted to look at the pics. It's Lethal Pursuer mind on me all the time. Bloody awful.
yes.
Did you want to touch on Rockstar after that big tangent?
Hey, we're talking about DVD in the event. It wasn't a tangent. That one was planned.
Yeah. No, it wasn't, like, with the Rockstar League. I was more curious. It was sort of like a topic where, so, like, the Rockstar had a leak. A lot of games these days tend to have leaked, whether it be footage, leaked content, leaked this, leaked that. There's just leaks all over the place all the time.
Like a sieve.
Yeah,
It's
but
like
it's sort of,
floods.
but it begs the question: are these being hacked out of the company? And if they are, why is this happening on a consistent basis to not only small companies but even bigger companies are struggling with it? Or is there like slightly tinfoil hat conspiracy theory? Is it less leaked and more them allowing certain information out to create
Yes.
that hype?
Yes, it's the second. With a lot of, I feel with a lot of companies, it's controlled leaks, or it is somebody actually leaking it for whatever reason. But on the rare occasion, something like Rockstar, I believe they were hacked because you know how tightly they keep things close to the chest, and then they'll tease like GTA 5 in Red Dead Redemption 2 in GTA 5 or something like that. Like they play things super close to the chest and doesn't want anything getting leaked. But like switching it from that to, for example, Google lately, rather than waiting for leaks to come out, Google are literally leaking their own things for people to see before anyone else. And it builds hype. And people are either hyped about it because it's good or hyped about it because it's bad. And because it's been quote unquote leaked, there's even more hype about it. It's like, oh, who's leaked this? Or oh, Google leaked it themselves. Like, there's more talk and it builds more, but they do it in a wrong. Google does it in the wrong way. It's like for example, they leak their new phone or their watch or something, and it's like 6 to 8 months before it's even announced. So it's like by the time it gets announced, they're either going to need to leak it again or do something else or get in the news some other way for leaks or something to build that hype up again. Because 6 to 8 months later, everyone's going to forget about it. Like the new Apple phone or the new Samsung phone or something else have come out or been announced. So with things like Dead by Daylight, if the leaks are from hackers, then what does that say about their game? If their servers, if they can't stop their servers from being hacked to release information, and the devs' computers and stuff being hacked to release that information, what luck do we have? Considering our IP addresses are being leaked every single time we log in and connect to matches, still, even though they said they fixed it, like what's stopping? Why should we put our faith in them if their servers and their employees are getting hacked? Yeah, it can be down to user error, but most of the time, user error is the reason why people get hacked anyway,
But it was
or data gets leaked.
like the Rockstar ones. I think that was more of a genuine leak because
Yeah,
like
I
their
think that was a
reaction
hack.
to it. I think it felt more like they were embarrassed that it had come out rather than it was like, oh shit.
I don't think it
leaked.
was they were embarrassed. They were pissed.
They were really pissed. You could tell the way that it was worded.
They were
You can
annoyed,
tell.
but it was also embarrassing for them because they were annoyed because it was a genuine breach.
Dude, it was a massive breach. Like it wasn't just screenshots.
Yeah.
It was like there was gameplay, there was mechanics, there was like all the codes and like the work in progress stuff,
Yeah.
like really beta alpha stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was loads. There was so much. Like when I first seen it, there was like a couple of screenshots and maybe like one quick snippet of them walking or something. And
Yeah.
after that, like a day or two passed, and then I saw like another 10 to 15 screenshots and like another 3 to 5 videos. Like,
Yeah.
and they're all different. People were clowning on it and saying it's like, oh, they've taken like 6 to 10 years or whatever it's been, making GTA 6, and it looks like GTA 4, like combat system or movement or whatever. But the amount of leaks and the quality of the leaks with it being so like sort of perfect and stuff, like that was a huge breach. They must have someone must have either left a laptop or like a hard drive or something, or one of their servers had been hacked, and that was huge. They got a lot of data from it to get a working sort of emulator version of it or whatever it is, like a sort of playable beta kind of thing. They must have had real insider kind of like data. It was huge.
That was my sort of mindset with the Rockstar leak was either a very very concerning breach, or given the nature of Rockstar, I did possibly think about it being a massive troll where people have demanded so much of GTA 6. When's it going to be released? What's it going to be about? Where's it going to be based?
I don't think it was a troll at all.
No, it wasn't
but
at all.
Based on them, like this was before I seen any of the screenshots or anything. I just heard about it, of the sheer amount. I was like, are they just dumping this information out there and it's not even going to be in GTA 6 for them to go and have a look at this, go and chew on this for a while we finish this game off?
No, they wouldn't do that. And the way they did the apology as well.
Yeah, this was in between like the leaks happening, before I seen the screenshots and before they actually gave like an official stance on it.
See, my 2 cents with this, and I know it sucks for them, and I know what you guys are saying, you can't give your trust to them, is, at least in regards to, say, like, not anti-cheat, but like, and the things like Bulldog, Guard Virus, all that stuff that are supposed to protect you from viruses and what. They update their versions to combat, say, the newer hacker systems, and then the hackers then see that as a challenge to then make better stuff that kind of over, like,
Yeah.
it just becomes a vicious circle kind of
It
thing.
does. There's a
So
difference between a virus and malware, though.
No, I get that, but
And there's
is
always backdoors in 0 days.
someone's been trying really, really hard, or a group of people have been trying really, really hard because there's been nothing on GTA 6 for what, 7 years, 10 years?
Something like that, yeah.
They've just taken that as a challenge for the last however many years to try and get something in any way, shape, or form they could. And it's just been a long thing in the planning that they've eventually managed to do. Like, is that the case of what's just happened?
It could be a mix of a lot of different ways, because there's so many ways or different ways to like hack or get access to a system. I'd say this is more of persistence and probably social engineering of some kind.
That's what I
Where
mean.
It's
They
either that
worked
or
their way
someone.
into Rockstar or something at
I'd
some
say
point, or had someone on the inside,
someone
and
in
then
Rockstar
bided the
has helped.
time.
yeah, it's not the way this works is crazy. Like I said, there's a difference between malware and virus, like a normal virus kind of thing. Because the way the malware works and the antivirus software works, it looks for specific code within programs and applications and files and stuff like that. If they match a specific sort of way that it works, it sort of flags it. This is why certain programs like I can't think of a quick explanation now of it, but with this, like for example, a keylogger tracks his keystrokes and that kind of stuff. Then if you had a program that required to record your keystrokes in the program for a specific reason, say for example, it was a program that helps you learn how to speak or write a different language, for example. Say for example, Microsoft Word. Then Microsoft Word needs to take that input of your keyboard, but then because it's a Word writing document, your antivirus then flags it as a false positive because it's recording the keystrokes. This is a very, very, very oversimplification of how it works, but that's kind of the premise where it searches for that. And there's always ways to obfuscate your code and to sort of like scramble it up so it's more difficult for the antivirus. And the more reports and the more things that the antivirus is get, the more they can sort of like update it. And sometimes there's definition updates for viruses and stuff like that that like hourly, like you can get updates hourly or even like more like frequent. But I think with Rockstar it's just fucking such a huge company because you haven't heard of anything like this before from like a game to be leaked this bad, right? From such a massive sort of games company. Like I've not heard of anything of you
No.
guys.
Not at all.
Not from this size.
There's like
on
leaks of
this,
things that could be coming,
Yeah,
but
there's
not like
leaks.
half a fucking game.
Not this size and on this scale.
So so to me that sort of for example, they've taken advantage of probably like 0 days. So where there's like a new vulnerability and there's not a patch out for it. So like you can get a backdoor in the servers or whatever that way. Or like they've social engineered their way. And then they found like an employee and they've sort of like I said, so like talk to an employee or go into contact with an employee without realizing the employee realizing, and then they've social engineered their way, and then they've hacked onto their computer, which then they take into work, and then go onto the Rockstar's network, and then they got their way in that way, and they're just worming their way through the system, that kind of stuff. It's like if you've listened to or read any Edward Snowden book or listened to some of his interviews that he's done, like for example, the NSA, they had software and stuff like that and like hacking programs that exploited pretty much any Microsoft system or any Windows system, and Microsoft didn't even know this. They're actually supposed to like report these things to Microsoft, but they had tools to hack into any computer they wanted to at any given time, pretty much. And they just didn't release it. It was like an NSA spy kit kind of thing. It was like a Swiss Army knife for the NSA. And there's things like this that, because they're kept in such a close knit environment, the way that viruses and malware gets sort of patched is the same way that games, like for example, Dead by Daylight, hacks for Dead by Daylight or any other game gets patched. It's because like a group of people or like a single person makes it, then they profit off it by either selling it to their friends or they sell it to a website or something like that, and then it gets distributed, and the more people that have it, and then the more people it gets reported about, and then the game devs or the anti-cheat system finds out, right, so this particular process is running this particular code, this is what's hacking in our system. Or the other easy way, they find out what hack it is, then they pay for it themselves, they deobfuscate the code, they decode it, reverse engineer, whatever you want to call it, and then they find out what the malicious code is interfering with their game to change the values and whatnot, and that's what they patch. So what Rockstar's done, they've just been shot in the arse and a sword down the throat. It's just crazy what's happened, and I feel sorry for them looking at this fucking apology as well. I've got it up on the screen. I was going to read it, but it's just like you can tell that it's massive for them because they, like I said, how much data has been stolen.
But it's like in terms of like the Dead by Daylight side of it. So like they had their whole big stream for the anniversary to reveal Project W, this massive fucking collaboration. They were bringing back Resident Evil. Everyone fucking knew about it. Everyone knew
Yeah.
for months. And it was sort of like it's happened so often lately for all the new killers they've been coming out with, whether it be original or licensed, and it's always been sort of like when they do finally reveal officially what the killer is, it's sort of like they confirmed the leaks then.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? Do you guys think that Dead by Daylight, like their devs or whatever, they've got like a rat on the inside, as a rat is in like a remote administration tool, like so they can take control or like read the data or whatever on the computers. Like, do you think that they've been hacked and it's actually been leaked, or do you think there's somebody in the company leaking that information to someone or like leaking it themselves?
Well, the leaks thing saying they find things in the update files ready for the.
Yeah.
Like, that's what they claim it is. The game updates for mid-patch, and there's already stuff for the new chapter in that update that they just don't mention it.
Mm.
So that's what they claim that it is. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's how they did it.
That
So
is doable. So you're saying that it's a data mine rather than a hack, or
that is what it is.
Yeah.
They've confirmed that's how they do it.
Yeah.
DBD leaks just data mines it. Yeah.
But
that's what
they've
is.
got to say that though. They can't say, "Oh yeah, we got a man on the inside,"
we've got a man on the inside.
But with the limited information they bring out, it would be about accurate. That's how they get it, because they get more information than just what.
I know that it does happen because I remember a story from when Ash from Evil Dead was first added to the game. In the
that was years ago.
Right, so when that happened in the mid chapter before they announced his release, his perks were put into Kill Your Friend.
Yeah, by accident, and everyone saw it.
What, and they still do the same thing now?
So so
surely you'd think they'd learn though, right?
This is behavior.
They've learned not to make it obvious, so it doesn't actually go into the gameplay.
But it's still in the files.
But it's still in the files, so people can still just go in and look.
Like, it's common for like games and stuff like that to put like a pre-patch or like a mid-patch or something like that, and then there's certain game files in there needed to run or whatever. But for the amount of leaks that actually came out, it was like a new leak every other day, or like every week or something.
The one thing I will say is, obviously, the closer we get, especially when mid-patch drops, that's usually not long after we get we normally get some information on what's coming next. That's 9 times out of 10 how it works. Mid-patch comes out or PTB comes out. We get information a week after that they've managed to data mine out of it. Yeah. I don't get how they get it 6 months in advance. Like, we knew that
exactly,
and then Stranger Things deal after that.
Yeah.
I don't know how they get that information.
Yeah, this is what I mean.
In the files, apparently, it's like, this is project. Like, for example, with Westgate, it was Project W. But it had nothing to do with Resident Evil. We didn't have that.
It's the question of how much do they know and how much do they make leaps of like assumptions to, like, it could purely be of like they've data mined, found this Project W and like mentioned it to a dev while they were streaming, or like mentioned it someone somewhere, and they've got a response that's indicated to them that it's a high chance that could have something to do with a returning chapter, or
because they have done data mines before that have been wrong.
Yeah,
that has been a thing in the past a lot. So it could be that, like, early stage for the data mining, they get limited information and just kind of put pieces in place that kind of fit, and then not until another mid patch they figure out what's wrong with it and like, more precise on what's coming.
But like seeing like it wouldn't take much of a leap to see a file for Project W to go.
And then put
You know
Wesker
what?
in, yeah.
Wesker starts with a W. Everyone thought it was going to be Wesker for the first Resident Evil chapter. What if they done another Resident Evil chapter because that was their most successful chapter to try and reignite that rise in gameplay players playing the game during that time to try
I
and
just think it's
replicate
all
it.
sus, if I'm honest.
Because the information for the night, I think the game file they found was literally just night. That is all they had. And they just said, okay, so the thing that we're getting next is some sort of night or something to do with a night.
Mm.
Do you remember? Was it the rework or was it? Oh no, it was like remember the not the blight, the dredge. Yeah, the dredge. The new map for the dredge. People thought it was Hawkins. How many months in advance was that? Like it was a new
I
killer because
don't
like
remember Hawkins even getting mentioned.
I'm sure somebody thought it was like Hawkins map and the dredge was on the Hawkins map.
I know for Dredge, a long time in advance, we knew that whatever we were getting had something to do with lock, but we didn't have much on it. It was literally just, it was either a killer or a perk or both. We know it has something to do with lockers, but we don't know what,
Yeah,
because mid-patch hadn't been out yet.
I
That's why I
can't
wonder if like
remember the
they,
screenshots. It
but if
might be
they
in my
took
Discord. Sorry,
because
right?
before Dredge was released, they started they increased the amount of locker spawns on each map, didn't they?
And it was found in the game files, that's what we were doing.
Yeah, so that's what they've obviously like seen the increase in lockers and have gone not a far leap to say there's going to be a perk or a killer power that's going to be based around lockers, which with the sparsity of lockers on certain maps in certain areas would be utterly complained about
Because
instantly.
the increase in lockers wasn't even addressed by behavior either. It was done silently.
Yeah.
They never put it in any of the patch notes that they'd even done it.
A lot of people probably wouldn't have noticed it that much apart from Huntress mains and Trickster mains.
Oh, I fucking noticed.
I know you fucking noticed.
I'm just looking on the DBD leaks on my Discord at the moment, and on the 30th of the 7th, what's that, July? 30th of July? That's when Demo Dog on a new map has come up.
But then we found out that the chapter after the night's going to be Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And it's coming back, so it could be that that's just been in the game for God knows how long.
What, with video of work in progress maps as well?
I don't know about that. I have heard about that, though. Like, getting a little...
That's the one that Lynx has been on about, the baby demo in the basement.
Yeah, there's 3 videos of it on my Discord.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. But yeah, I know a lot of the
so you can see it.
Gets is through data mining.
Like I can see the data mining where they've got the cosmetics and stuff like that. They've got it spot on. Like that's probably data mining.
No, but like in terms of the gameplay,
that's that. That will be in the because they do it through Unreal Engine. There's a certain. It's the same. You know how people get the renders of like the characters dancing and stuff like that, and make them how do what they want. That's pretty much how they read the files is through Unreal Engine. A version of that you can render. This is because when I was making or trying to make some thumbnail poses and stuff like that for like Freddy or whatever, I tried going through that, and it was because I didn't know how to work the software. It was very difficult to work. But it's like, what's is it wife or girlfriend's name? Eventic, is it?
Nina.
Nina. Yeah. So Nina. So I know Nina does Otis thumbnails. So what she does with the Unreal Engine files is kind of the same thing than the data miners do. They just go but they go through different files rather than the cosmetic files and load them up.
Yeah, the gameplay for the demo map. I've seen videos recently popping up on YouTube where people have made custom maps to play DBD on. They've been quite cool actually. They created one for like for what Trickster's map would be, which was a really interesting map. But it looked like they've sort of data mined the files for that Stranger Things map come in, and then like put that into Unreal Engine and stay in there.
Yeah. So I was look, I've seen some of them and they had like Alien versus Predator and they look cool as hell. I'm just looking now. How long have we had um what's vagina face? Dredge.
Dredge.
Yeah, how long have we had Dredge?
It was the patch before
2
last
chapters.
one.
Yeah, 2 patches ago maybe.
Yeah, it was Dredge then Wesker.
Right, so looking at it, Inner Focus, Overzealous, Darkness Revealed. Oh, they are his picks, right?
Yeah.
This was leaked on the 7th of the 5th. And there's more leaks before it. And like with Hardy being the killer.
Long before he came out.
Was that
Survivor.
time with this? Yeah, Survivor, sorry. Because we did talk about it in a previous podcast.
We did, yeah.
So has the Dredge been out for like 5 months?
Sounds about right.
Ish. It would have been January-ish that we got it. So 5 months is about accurate.
7th of June. Route to Dredge. So we would have known about the perks and everything in the PTB, what, 2 weeks before that?
Would have been in
April.
April, yeah.
No,
Yeah, it was.
We would have known about the leaks in May.
This was the leaked pre-PTB build.
Yeah, so the middle of May would have been the PTB.
PTB. April would have been the leaks. Because that would have been about a month.
Yes, the leaks are like, it's difficult with Dead by Daylight because of like I can understand with like leaks being in the PTB or in like a mid patch and stuff like that, but not to the extent that it's a full on killer and survivor inside. Like some things teasing towards it, like in World of Warcraft, for example, when they put things up on the beta or the PTB for that one when they're updating that each week, like there's things that they can mine, data mine, that aren't out or due to be released, and it's like gear tier sets. There's nothing ever towards the story. It's like the raids and the dungeons and stuff like that. They're not sort of in there. I'm fairly certain the dungeon they could see like names or something for it, like in the last patch before the new not new expansion, the new sort of like raid came out. They could kind of see when they put it on the PTB, they could see like 9 of the 12 bosses or something like that. And even though the files were there or something like, or the files, the raid was there, the files weren't. If that makes sense, it's kind of difficult to explain it, but I'm not a bloody coder or programmer like for games and stuff, so it's difficult for me to explain as well. But although the raid is there, the files containing the information for the last part of the raid wasn't, if that makes sense then. So for people that, when they were doing like Race to Worlds first, they didn't have the information or they couldn't data mine the information, what the boss is going to be, what the boss mechanics are going to be, so they could like sort of figure out a way roughly how they could attack that boss kind of thing. If that makes sense then. Sorry, that was a bit of mumbo jumbo for a second, even for me. But
well, if you go on, I don't know exactly, but when I used to go through the wiki, because obviously I've got loads of stuff that I used to put on for some of the bot commands, like for example the killer roulettes and whatnot. So I had to go through and get each character alphabetically. They have unused characters. I don't know if they've been data mined or if it's stuff from like really, really. But there are characters that aren't in DBD that exist in DBD universe, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think they've got a lot out of data mining.
The earliest ones
that happens with a lot of games.
The teacher files. There's like perks to do with like a ruler and images to do with like teaching and stuff that have been in the game since like it was first released.
And it just never got released.
That's the thing. So it's like, again, World of Warcraft, a load of other games have had like data mine files and then nothing's ever come of it. But that could be like they could be saving it. It might not come out now, but they could be saving it for like when the time is right, kind of thing.
Well, they've been saving it. They've been saving the teacher files for 5 years so far. So.
Oh well, okay then those kind of files. They probably just forgot about those files and just like no.
Bro,
Like
they
I
haven't
can
forgot about those files. Every time a new killer comes out, there's at least 5 or 6 DVD creators that go, they're finally going to use the teacher files.
but that's not behavior though, is it?
Yeah, but they know these people. There's some of them are fog whisperers, man. They know full well the teacher files are there because they keep telling them.
It's just to get hype around it, probably.
No, I know. It's just one of those, isn't it? All very interesting. I'd love to find out one day how much is actually data mined and how much is someone on the inside going, by the way, we're doing this.
We're gonna release this little bit of information to create some hype around.
Yeah.
And then take away from the stream that we'll be doing 2 weeks afterwards because we're stupid and don't understand how hype works.
Like even down to like with the Project Wesker thing, it could literally be of like, we're looking at like potentially doing another Resident Evil chapter, and that could be like just a potential like rumor from a dev or someone close to behavior. Then someone goes in and looks at the data mine files and goes, "There's Project W there. That's Wesker, 100% done." Like
that's why I missed the old, like, not licensed killers. Like for Deathslinger, all we got for Deathslinger, because it wasn't even leaked, was a chain being dragged on the floor. That was the extent of what we got, with a little bit of blood on one end. Like those trailers got so much, whereas now it's just it's Wesker.
Was it the Pinhead one?
Well, Pinhead revealed it's Pinhead because they always do with the licensed ones. It's the unlicensed ones where they hide it.
Yeah.
Like,
but they were cool though.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying they weren't, but like building hype behind something that you don't even know what it is. You just get these tiny little clues everywhere. Like with Twins, we got an audio file of.
I was gonna say the audio file.
That's all we got. And how much hype did that build up for like 3 weeks before it finally appeared on PTB? Because there was no leaks whatsoever. It was just the audio that they actually released.
It just ruins the hype.
Whereas Wesker, Pinhead, we actually got to see them, which it creates hype, but it's like, okay, so this is coming, rather than what are we getting? Like the release,
like the license
chapter trailer is going to be on soon.
The license thing, like I think the best one they done with the license was Silent Hill. That's been one of the best licensed chapter reveals.
Silent Hill or demo, because nobody kind of knew. Because everyone was really hyped when they saw demo appear around the corner.
Yeah. But like that demo, I suppose, a lot of demos.
There wasn't hype behind it. It was just all of a sudden we got a thing of like a school or whatever it was corridor. Demo appeared. That was it. It was similar to Silent Hill.
Yeah, it was very much like there's a school, there's an alarm going off. Is that Cheryl? Like, unless you were a real Silent Hill fan, you wouldn't really know who Cheryl was. And then it was, all right, shit, it's fucking Pyramid Head, like.
Whereas now, when they release licensed trailers or whatever, we already know what it is. There's no hype. Other than the fact that all this chapter is coming to DVD.
I'm trying to remember the Ring one.
We had Static. We had Static on the TV. That's all we had.
Wasn't there? Unless I might be thinking years ago, like Call of Duty, maybe. There was like leaks or like trailers and stuff like that, though, where if you looked at the audio file, like as in the when you open it in like Audition and it shows you the waveform. The waveform. That if you looked at the waveform, it would actually spell out or like show something on the waveform.
That was Call of Duty.
It was Call of Duty, wasn't it? Yeah. There was like things like that. Yeah, I'm glad you do, because I'd have gone crazy otherwise. But things like that, like ways to build hype that way, is absolutely fucking fantastic.
But I'd rather see Dead by Daylight do that officially and be like, oh, we're going to release this. That is the most vaguest clue possible to allow idiots like us to make content of who's it going to be? What's the possibility?
The Slinger one will always be a memorable one for me because I can remember Twitter and YouTube blowing up of potential things it could be, and they were like
Because you didn't
wild
even get
things
like
that
the
it could have
gunshot
been.
or anything, did you? It was literally just the chain being dragged.
It
and
was just the chain being dragged. It was good animation as well, so you could see the gravel. You could just make out blood on one end, like ever so slightly. But that's all they. It was a 20-second, thing, and all it was a chain being dragged. And the hype from just seeing a chain being dragged, like as simple as that is, was unreal on like what it could potentially be. The Pitter Patter one kind of went between a Wendigo, Chucky, and a four-legged creature. Like they were the three main things, but the chain one, there were like hundreds and thousands of things that it could have been. And I miss having that hype. DVD doesn't really do that anymore.
It's just they just give it to us on a plate. It's like it's kind of like they leak the thing, like, or they leak it, or they get the leak. They get the hype, and it's like, oh well, it was leaked anyway. Whether or not it was them leaking it, or whether or not it was whatever. It's like, here you go, here's the killer.
Yeah, and like with what Ryan was saying, everybody, there's no way the devs, and they still try to play it off as a big reveal.
Yeah,
like,
I'd have loved to.
We already
turn
knew.
around and been like, you know what? Let's not announce Resident Evil as the next chapter in this.
Yeah, let's just switch the chapters up to fuck them over. I would have loved to have seen that.
Let's just switch it up. Like, out of the fucking blue. Don't say a fucking word. Only tell X amount of people in behavior that was going to happen. And if that got released, then you know full well it's coming from behavior, and you know there would be a certain amount of people that would have known that information.
It's like, yeah, just do that. Just tell, like for example, the design team, the coders, then like just tell a certain team a certain lie.
So like, I remember watching.
See which one comes out.
One of the Joe Rogan podcasts, and he was speaking to Bob Lazar, who was the guy from Area 51.
Bob Lazar, yeah.
So he was saying they were very well known that all the information they would give to each person, they would slip in bits of information that were false information, and they would only tell like one person that piece of information.
Yeah.
So if there was a leak and that information was found out, they would be able to pinpoint who leaked that information. Now, I can't say like behavior can do the same thing on the same scale, because one.
Well, they can.
They could easily do it.
Like I just said, they could just do it by team. So the design team,
that's what I mean
team.
In terms of like.
And then they could make it more intricate after that, because they could just tell each member of that team a different the next one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Bob Lazar, though, he was working on UFOs and stuff, dude.
Not even with doing that, they could literally have another team work on a chapter, and if one of them gets leaked, release the other chapter first.
Yeah.
To make it seem that the chapter that got leaked was fake, and then maybe it's in
but it's
2 months' time okay, by the way, that chapter was real, and that'll build the hype back up.
Exactly. That would be a better way to do it.
It's got to even by doing that though, right? Is that even if all the leak sites then went, oh, like Project Wesker's coming out, guaranteed, no problem, and then they flip it and you go, oh well, we're going to release this chapter first now just to fuck them up. Wesker will come next chapter. Even if the next chapter, all those leak pages go, oh, Wesker was delayed, it's now being released this month. Everyone's going to go, well, you said that last month.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to believe it. And they could even do it a step further and do another chapter in between if they really wanted to dick, and then release Wesker.
But then it all depends on how in cahoots they all are with each other, because then they could just release all. Say they're working on say they got 3 teams for some reason, like they one working on the store content for cosmetics and stuff, one working on the new chapters like design, and then the one working on the chapters like coding or whatever. They're all working on 3 different chapters. What if all 3 of them get leaked? Like, you know, when we had all those leaks and there was like loads of chapters in advance, like months in
And they need
advance.
to sort out their fucking game because they shouldn't be having 3 separate fucking
Exactly. This
chapters.
is what I mean. It's that kind of thing, you know?
But the thing is, if they were to turn around to all their employees and be like, listen, we're cracking down on leaks. So we're not going to be releasing, like, there's not going to be anything in the patch for the mid chapter for them to data mine to get the information. So any leak will have to come from hacking our servers or from an employee. And we will be starting to do investigations to find where the leaks are coming from. That fear of losing your job over leaking data for a game like Dead by Daylight, I think would cut down the leaks massively.
Hmm.
Just the
Depends how
fear
they
of
want to
it.
go about doing it, though.
It was like
If they care at all.
yeah, but like Bob Lazar said about it, was like the reason there was never any leaks from Area 51 was because you never knew if you'd been fed wrong information for that purpose.
Apart from that, another reason why you probably never heard about Area 51 is because anybody that did know about Area 51, they were like in the particular area that Bob Lazar was in, they would only be given the information about what they are working on specifically.
No,
So
I know like there's a lot
and
more
then
to it, but
and
even just
and then
that,
apart from that, you'd get killed off, dude.
yeah,
If
but
you
like
fucking, that's why they didn't hear about any leaks coming from Area 51. It's because they killed them.
no, but like even like he said, like no one ever even thought of considered talking because of that reason, because they knew that the leaks could be pinpointed to them.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't do it anonymous.
It's like 90% of the information was like true, and then
Yeah.
every one person would have that last 10% just like misconstrued a little bit, just so
But
it'd
you
be
never knew what
very,
that
very
10%
slightly
was.
different, so they'd know where it came from if there was a leak.
Yeah. And I think just that fear of that being a possibility would help massively. I'd just like to see the hype come back and not be like the chapter reveal being, they've confirmed the leak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Because for like the last year and a half, they've been consistently spot on, down to the point where they almost know the complete values of the perks before they're released.
Yeah. They just need to just sort out the entire goddamn team, though. I agree with Ash.
It'd be nice to see at some point in the future because I do think they will look into it because they've got to know that there's no hype behind. Well, there is in the sense that it's a chapter that someone cares about, but there's no hype in the reveal anymore.
No.
Like,
Like, if because it gets leaked, it's like if there's a new Stranger Things, which, well, that got leaked a few months ago, and it's coming out
That's
Christmas time or whatever.
Christmas time because that'll be when the night one comes out. The night one will be Christmas or January, and then the Stranger Things one will be in June. Off the top of my head, the time thing that someone else had for Christmas was way wrong. They didn't think about the time releases at all. But yeah, it'll be around June-ish for the Stranger Things.
That's the Stranger Things anniversary, though, isn't it? That's probably why.
that'll be around
Yeah.
about when season 5, the end. The end.
Last season hit, yeah.
Yeah.
Slap bang in the right time.
Yeah, so that I'd say that's like it builds hype, but it would have been nice for them to get the Stranger Things out for Stranger Things, you know?
But they may like that is still a possibility that they could turn around in like January and be like, we're bringing the Stranger Things chapter back
Yeah,
and
bringing it forward
announce
rather.
that Stranger Things 2 will be like the next the summer chapter. So they could announce it. The hype would be massive for Stranger Things coming back to DVD with the Hawkins Mac coming back. And then by the time that hype sort of dissipated, it would start to be building back up for the final season and the Stranger Things 2 chapter.
Well, I think the Verona chapter's been confirmed now. I'm pretty sure.
The what chapter, sorry?
Verona the night chapter. It's been
Oh.
confirmed. Is 100% the next thing we are getting. Stranger
Yeah.
Things is after that one, supposedly.
So
Yeah, that'd be the thing of like though is like will they necessarily do the return of Stranger Things as in chapter 1 being part of the Stranger Things Chapter 2 release, or will they release it back first?
They'll have Demogorgon back in again. If they've got the license back, they'll want Demo back.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think that'll be released before the Chapter 2 is released.
No, they'll bring it out at the same time. Because they'll do a special pack for it as well, I imagine.
Do you think it's going to be like a Vecna style killer?
I think. Well, Vecna's the only notable thing that people have mentioned that could even be a killer. I haven't watched the Stranger Things, so I don't know. But
the
I would imagine
only other thing that could be a killer in my eyes in Stranger Things would be like the Mind Flayer itself, but that's too much like the entity to be a valid killer.
Yeah, in my mind, the entity is the Mind Flayer.
Unless, like you said, the new chapter or the new series is coming out around the same time it releases, they could already know what's in it, and there could be something in there that could be the killer.
It could well be.
And that'll sort of take away from Vecna as well. But I imagine Vecna
possibly be Eddie. I've got a feeling this like Eddie's going to be like alive in the Upside Down. Just saying. Like that's my theory.
Maybe.
Because they left him there, didn't they? Like he's got chomped on by these bats, the demo bats.
Yeah, but like he didn't like die off screen. He like full
exactly.
On... No, but that's what I'm saying. He didn't die off screen. Like he full on bled out in Dustin's arm.
But look at Vecna. Spoiler alert, yeah. Look at Vecna though. Vecna got like yeeted through the Upside Down. He should have died. Yeah, but as he was going through the Mind Flayer or whatever.
He had inhuman powers and was never shown to be dead. Like Eddie,
but we never found Vecna.
And closed his fucking eyes.
Vecna could have done something like his voodoo magic shit.
Maybe.
Like if he comes back as like a sort of,
as long as they have an Eddie Munson skin, I'll be happy.
Yeah, Eddie's gonna be epic. But like if Eddie comes back as like, not so much a villain, but they can sort of like not bring him back from the dead, but you know what they did with Hopper, right? Like we thought Hopper was dead.
That's what I'm saying, was Hopper's death was sort of off screen. Like you didn't see him die.
But the explosion that happened, like that should have killed him.
Yeah, but you see an explosion, you don't see him die.
Exactly.
Like how often does just, James Bond get
Eddie just closed his eyes. He just had a little nap, dude.
Just fed up at Dustin's shit. He was like, just go away.
Yeah, he was like, oh, fucking Dustin, I don't want to see you.
Stop screaming. I have just laid out the fattest fucking freestyle you have ever seen. Leave me rest.
My guy, my curly head, like Cheeto, I just played Master of Puppets for demo bats, like Aussie. Like chewing the head off a bat. I kicked ass. I don't want to see your face. I want to see, what was her name? Chrissy? I forgot her name now, with the meme song. I'm going to say Chrissy.
The other day, it was funny enough, sorry, talking about Chrissy and Eddie, was someone, it was on Tinder actually. There you go. Tinder.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So
that's your most used app, dude.
I'm looking for the Eddie to my Chrissy, and I was like, Chrissy was never with Eddie. Chrissy, like, are you looking for a drug dealer? Because Eddie was just supplying Chrissy with drugs. Like,
you should say, "Oh, hey, I'm looking for some Ed."
But I was just really confused. I was like, you're saying them as if they're like a really romantic couple. She was in his house trying to get drugs and got murdered.
Yeah, pretty much.
What the fuck?
Kind of fucked up, dude.
I love Tinder. It's a beautiful place sometimes.
Oh god. Right, and before you go on to your OnlyFans, like yellow pages of OnlyFans website or whatever it is, I think it'd be good to call it there because it's like way gone midnight.
Yeah.
You got work tomorrow, shit, dude. Blame Ryan. All his tangents of Tinder and stuff.
But it was good fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh, this picture that I'm sending to the group is like how I feel having to wait for 2023 for this movie.
I know, it looks so fucking good.
But yeah, I'm done for tonight. I gotta I spend some time with my wife.
You should definitely go for Super Mario.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to think the next one won't be nearly a month after, and we probably will be back next week.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we should be.
Yeah.
I can't. We'll have to look for more people to do it because you guys are just unreliable. Jeez.
We all agree. You've missed 2 weeks. 2 of the weeks were your fault.
How?
No, last week Kev was available.
Last week Kev was available. Me and you were ill, and Lynx was not available. The week before Kev wasn't available, and
I was working.
And a few weeks before that, you also weren't available because me, Lynx, and Ash done the podcast. So you've missed more podcasts than anyone else. Thank you very much, Squire.
Sir.
So don't talk to me about your bloody punctuality and availability.
I think Ryan might be the only one who's been.
No, he missed it because of the heat wave and stuff as well.
We both agreed on the heat wave because it was disgusting.
Oh, in terms of like showing up for recording and actually recording it, I think Ryan's the only one that's been in every single podcast, right?
I'm the one that
Ryan
records
it.
Yeah. You used to record it, didn't you?
I used to, yeah, but Ryan used to cut out a lot, and he's cut out quite a lot for me tonight as well.
Yeah, he's cut out for me a few times tonight.
See, I don't get that though, because I cut out on your end, but neither of you cut out for me, and the recording always comes out fine.
I actually cut out for both of you earlier.
Yeah, you cut out for me in that sentence as well. So I try to put together, if I don't respond too much to things that you guys say, it's because you cut out.
I'm just used to you not replying to me.
It's fine.
No, I feel like a dick anyway just doing that.
I'd rather be told to repeat it than just have silence. Because then I'm just like, did that go through, or am I just talking to myself?
No, we can't. There's the silence is either we haven't heard you, or Kev's brain is trying to catch up,
or everyone doesn't want to speak over everyone else, and nobody wants to speak.
Yeah, that too. And I'm trying to process it. Like I'm trying to process what you said, and like if I can't process it because you cut out, I'm like, can I try and fill in the gaps? But yeah, it's been a pleasure, lads.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been
a pleasure. Good night. And
we've had a lot to catch up on. That's why it's been so long, isn't it? We haven't had time to sit down and like have a good old natter like this.
Yeah. You know what the best laugh is? I think this recording's been 3.5 hours.
I have no idea.
3 hours and 26 minutes.
Yeah, I think the longest one apart from that one was the first one that I was brought into, and again it was us three. So for some reason, us three when we're together, we just record really long podcasts.
Yeah.
So Aaron, if you're listening, Aaron, we don't like you.
That's not what I mean by that.
Well, that's what he's saying. No, I'm joking, Aaron. We love you.
I'm
I hope
sure.
By the time you listen to this, I hope you've had a lot of rest, bud.
Yeah, you fucking need it.
Yeah, rest the sleepy thing goes for everyone else, gamers, and the usuals, rate, like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Peace.
Love you all.
I guess platonically.
Bye bye.
Boy.